Hello there, good afternoon. Just 3 days on, we're ready to go once again through another stream right here with us on Fournilwrittenalloverit. The DW Stadium is the venue this Easter Bank Holiday Monday. Oddly, the reverse of this fixture was Pompey's Easter Monday game exactly 3 years ago. The man in charge for the Latics is Liam Richardson. His opposite number looks like a difficult man to stop as the Cowley brothers have accomplished a perfect 9 points out of 9 since they took charge last month. Table-wise, Hull City is still the team at the top of the pile. Sunderland, Lincoln and Blackpool are the teams alongside ourselves in the playoffs. Peterborough and Sunderland play each other today live on Sky Sports. Should Hull City lose their game against Northampton, either of those two sides could go top of the league with a win. Pompey have the chance to cement 4th position this Bank Holiday Monday, but it could be all change for the playoffs, as even Doncaster in 10th could jump back into the frame if results go their way. An hour of build-up begins now for Wigan Athletic versus Portsmouth. We're live here with you until 5:30 this evening on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Yeah, great to have your company with us here on the show. A very happy Easter Monday to you all. We're back after what has been a lovely weekend of sunshine, barbecues and meeting up with people that you haven't seen for months on end. But we're back with the football just a couple of days on, which is absolutely superb. As you can probably imagine, Pompey are unchanged this afternoon. It's Craig McGilvery and goal, a back four of Callum Johnson, Jack Watmore, Sean Raggett and Lee Brown. Tom Nail is your captain, as usual. Ben Close, Marcus Harness, Ryan Williams, Michael Jacobs and Ronan Curtis make your starting 11. James Bolton, Rasmus Nicolaisen, Charlie Daniels, Andy Cannon, George Byers and Harvey White make up the bench. John Marquis is obviously serving his second game today of his 3-match ban. And we all know that Ellis Harrison is out injured until probably the end of the season. Not quite sure on Geordie Hawula, but I'm sure we might see him should we be playing in the playoffs this season. Hello to everyone joining the stream. Mitchell says, if Wigan beat you and Doncaster beat Bristol Rovers, they'll be bottom of the league. So I want Wigan to win. There we go. Come on, the posh, says Callum. It is indeed a 3 o'clock kickoff. Glowin, welcome on to the stream. Noel is very excited. And Jake says, happy birthday, Pompey. Yeah, 123 years old today. Who would have thought it? It's almost older than Andrew. Right, well, now we've gone through your team lineup. Let's head back to a couple of years ago, actually. It's an interesting one. Easter Monday, 3 years ago to pretty much the same day, was the reverse of this fixture at Fratton Park. So what better time to have a look back at that very video here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. If you missed it, here it is. Good afternoon, Andrew.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tom. Good afternoon, Ollie. And welcome to the Fournilwrittenalloverit temporary car.
Yeah, the car's gone in for service this week, isn't it?
Yes,
so we're in
another one.
We're in another one, why not? Yeah. And another change as well. Ollie's in the front, as you can see. I'm back here in the back. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Tom.
And so are we looking for, it's a bit early. We thought we'd start a bit early, but are we looking for today's game, guys?
Yeah, we are, Tom. I think this could be 4-0, mate. I think Cookie's going to come here. We're going to hammer this lot 4-0.
Let's hope so. Ollie, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I've been a few times this year, and every time I've been, we've won. So hopefully we can get another win today under the belt.
What do you reckon the score might be?
I reckon it's going to be a closer one today. Both teams are going to be up for it. They're both going to be fighting for it. Just hope for a good performance. Hopefully we can sneak it 2-1, mate.
Chocolate on the bottom. Chocolate on the top.
Out of 10.
About 5.
Well, this game's got 4-0 written over it.
Yeah. 685 calories per ring. That's quite a lot, isn't it?
Unfortunately, I missed last week's game, but I heard we did brilliantly.
How are you feeling for the visit of Wigan Athletic? Paul Cook's back.
I'm so excited. It's just going to be a great game, right? And I feel that we're going to win. Always.
Right. Well, if you get the score right, you could be the winner of a coconut ring today.
In that case, it's got to be 4-0 all over it, isn't it?
Perfect.
Yeah, and we're going to win that way, big time.
And
does that deserve a coconut ring? I think it does.
I think that deserves a coconut ring.
I love chocolate, and the coconut ring, you can't beat a coconut ring on match day.
You can't beat one of them.
You know what I mean? It's technically fruit in there as well. You know what I mean? You know,
exactly.
We're doing all right.
Exactly.
All right, have a great day, guys.
And you. Thank you very much.
I'm having a great day. It's going to be brilliant here. Fratton Park, the best place to be, I tell you.
I'm going to win, I don't know, like 1-0, last minute
1-0.
header, Pittman. Very precise prediction, like it. What do we reckon the score prediction is going to be today?
Come
on, think. Yeah, that's the one. That's what I wanted to hear. So 4-0s across the country, 2 of them coming on Friday in League One. Northampton lost 4-0 to Charlton and Plymouth won 4-0 against Southend. What's your name?
Harry.
And Harry, are you excited for today's game?
Definitely.
Definitely. And what do you reckon the score might be today, Harry?
2-1 Pompey.
Yeah, that's a good shout. The boys got it up there.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I was expecting you to say?
What?
Well, what's the name of the show?
4-0 written all over it, shouldn't it?
No. I'm sister.
No, oh no.
I'm sister. I'm
Your sister, Lynn's sister, right?
Lynn's sister, and the score today, we're going to win 2-1.
Not 4-0 written all over it?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Yes, we are going to. I like you, Lynn.
Got to.
You need to knock some sense into your sister before the start of the game. So, here we are outside Fratton Park. We're with Andrew. You're going to give us our team of the week. This week goes to...
Team of the week, Tom, this week is West Ham United, mate.
Why is that?
Well, they won 3-0, nearly 4-0.
Who did they win 3-0 against?
I can't remember, but they won 3-0 anyway.
Arnautovic scored 2, didn't he?
Yeah, Arnautovic got 2. And West Ham won 3-0.
Who was the goalkeeper?
Their goalkeeper, I don't know. Anyway, they won 3-0, so nearly 4.
I will Google that in a minute just to see who we were playing against, because
we'll have to look it up.
I can't really remember.
No, we'll have to look it up. Anyway, they won 3-0.
What does that say on the back of there?
4-0 written all over it.
Perfect. Enjoy the game. Hopefully it's going to be 2-1, but I think 4-0. Shake of the hand. Very well done.
He's decent, isn't he? He did well for you guys as well, didn't he, getting you up?
You like his style of play on the pitch?
It's all right. It's not what Roberto Martinez he played football, didn't he? But it's been coming down to this league. You've got to adjust your style, haven't you?
Score prediction?
1 apiece.
1-1. Same as the start of the season?
Yes.
I didn't put it in, but I'm going to. And do you think that we are going to get a result today against Wigan?
I hope so, yeah. I think it might be close, but I think we might win. I am confident.
What do you think of Paul Cook's return?
He's a good manager, but he's a not very nice man. But.
Okay. What's your name first?
It's Andrew.
Andrew. That is a very good name. Seriously, this guy, 6'11".
6'11", dude, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like almost twice the size of me.
Could be. If I stand up straight, probably.
Oh my lord!
That's even better.
Wow.
That's even
okay.
better.
And how are you feeling for today's game, Andrew?
Really confident, actually. In my opinion, with the change in tactics, how he's changed the structure, it's a bit more freedom on the pitch. I like how Gareth Evans played really well against Walsall, and obviously got that freedom in midfield. I think we're going to have a really tough game today. I'm hoping for a 2-0 victory. And
do you reckon that promotion is still on the cards via the playoffs?
In my opinion, promotion is always good, but whether we're ready for it or not, we don't know yet. I mean, in my opinion, obviously this year was about stability, but in my opinion, a nice little road to Wembley again for the 6th time would be nice, wouldn't it?
Jaden, how are we feeling?
Good, and I think we're going to win 2-0. 3-0.
3-0. And are we still going up this season?
We are. We are going to get.
It's going to be quite close, I think.
Okay.
But we could do.
We'll get it.
I'm quite confident.
Pompey 1, Wigan 0, thanks to a Brett Pittman penalty. Fratton Park is rocking, mate, and how have you felt about that?
I thought it was fantastic, Tom. I think we're all over them like a rash, mate. They've keep falling over, mate. They're just diving everywhere trying to look for free kicks, aren't they? It's typical Paul Cook, isn't it? You know. I think we keep playing football, Tom, the way we're playing it now, mate. And this has got 4-0 written all over it. Last time we played him here, it was 4-0, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, in the Prem, yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Was that the last? No, that's not.
Last time
not here.
Yeah, 4-0.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Well, there we go. The last time we played him here, viewers, it was 4-0, written all over it, at Fratton Park. We are going to check that, because I'm not sure if you, like...
No, that's
sure.
True, that's true, yeah. I was
100%.
I won 170 quid that day. And a bet
for the £1 bet for 4-0 written all over it.
Yeah. I also want to mention Hartley Whitney's 4-0 win. That was a fantastic win for Hartley Whitney. Tyrrell's been looking at watching them play, and he's really excited about them getting a mention. It's 4-0 Hartley Whitney last weekend, and also Plymouth won 4-0. So big up to them as well.
I thought we got a little lucky.
We're lucky, but we've got to take chances like that, I think, in a game like this. They're a very good side, and if we give them a break, they will score. But we're going to have to hit them on the attack and hope for something clever, I think.
I think, to be fair, 1-0 at half-time, I'd have taken that before the game. So, same again, second half, 2-0, 2-1 to us, maybe.
We did say a draw, we'd be happy with a draw, but
I did say
right now you wouldn't take a draw, would you take a win?
No, they look like a good team, but we've got at them. We've won up at the break, and we should go on and close out second half. Yeah.
www.
Well done.
4-0 written all over it.
Yeah, that's the next bit.
.online. And ring that bell.
Pompey 2, Wigan 1. Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of 4-0 written all over it. Ollie, quick assumption of the game, mate.
Nerve-wracking, absolutely frightening, but we deserved it. We fought well, the boys put a great effort in. It was quality. Good
quality,
game.
Mate. Nice one. Well, stop jumping around with the camera. We will see you next Saturday against Rochdale. We'll have Alex on the negative and Caroline on the show, plus myself and Andrew for that. But for now, we're all buzzing. Thank you for stop moving the camera. Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of 4-0 written all over it. As always, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook. We're all in the description. Thanks to Ollie for joining me and Andrew. We're on our way. Keep the faith. Always keep the faith. And play up, Pompey.
Play up, Pompey.
What a day that one was. That felt very bittersweet at the time, didn't it? The first, the return of Paul Cook since he left us. And that was the first time that we got to see him in the opposition dugout. We've seen him a couple of times since. And I don't think, actually, I might be right in saying, Brendan will probably correct me on this in a moment, but I don't think he's ever won at Fratton Park as an opposition manager. No, he hasn't. There we go. A quick look on your team news then before we speak to Brendan himself. It's unchanged, completely unchanged. If you're just joining us, Craig McGilvery, Callum Johnson, Jack Quatmore, Sean Raggett, Lee Brown, your captain Tom Naylor, Ben Close, Marcus Harness, Ryan Williams, Michael Jacobs and Ronan Curtis. You would expect Harness and Curtis to be on the score sheet this afternoon. Before we speak to Brendan, let's have a look at how these two teams compare from their season so far. So as you can see there, the league position completely different, and Pompey have won twice as many games. Pretty even on the drawing front, but as you can see, their losses are almost double in Wigan's favour. Unfortunately for them, goals per match obviously much higher for Pompey. Goals conceded per match is almost 2, and a very good afternoon to Brendan, who wasn't quite ready there, mate. Welcome along nonetheless. How are you?
Yeah, man, very good, very good. Nice to have the come towards the end of the bank holiday. So yes, nice. I'm happy.
Hey, I like the shirt.
Yeah, both got bright ones on.
Yeah, exactly. Where you wouldn't miss us, would you? Just to start off with, mate. Obviously, we go into today unchanged. That team news surprise you at all?
Nah, not at all. I wanted it to be unchanged, really, because why change the winning formula? You know, the only thing I'd probably change from what we did on Friday would be don't do as many subs and change it up as much. Probably rather grind it out and try and keep the boys going.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And no one's surprised, are they, by the fact that the team news is unchanged. We were just mentioning before we went to that video that Pompey turned 123 years old today. I was going to ask you to start off with, Brendan. You might want to take a moment to think about this, but is there anything that stands out as a moment for you that you'll always remember from your time following the boys, given it's 123 today?
Oh gosh, Tom, giving me goosebumps. So just thinking about it. There's so many memories that I've got. You know, I've been going to Pompey since 1997, when Dad took me to my first game with my brother Nana, my uncle, and our neighbour. We'd go. I'm thinking about at that first game in the Premiership, when when Teddy Sheringham scored that first goal and the stadium lit up. Possibly another one. The Reading 7-4 game, just comical. Absolutely, it's like a legendary game in that I've seen. Obviously, the cup final in 2008. Even little things, just like little things, like beating Man United at Fratton Park.
That's not a little thing.
No, it's just a league. It's just a league game. Just beating them at Fratton Park. That first season we beat them 1-0, and Steve Stone scored. The following year we beat them 2-0 when Yakubu and Unsworth scored. A couple of years later when Matty Taylor scored, and then the Rio Ferdinand own goal, which was comical as anything. And I think a very good feel-good moment, I think, was winning League Two. Being in there for that. We won it in such a prolific fashion, just being top of the league for the last 35 minutes of the season. And Doncaster and Plymouth both bottling it on that last day. And, the pitch invasion and, just the celebrations that came with it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's bring Gaz into the conversation, and we'll get his thoughts on. Good afternoon, mate. We'll get his thoughts on how he's on some of the memories that he can recall, and some of his favourite times following Pompey in the last however many years you have been, mate. I was just going to say to you, Brendan, before we do so, Pompey back to matters for today. Pompey haven't done it yet this season. Could this be the day that we make it 4 league wins on the trot?
I think there's no reason why we can't do it. I think we can. I know it's a bit of a saying that we haven't done it all this season could put a jinx on it, but it could be the omen. If you think from a Wigan point of view, we could, they've never done it, so it's their chance to do it, their chance to stop us from doing the 4 in a row. But there's nothing to stop us with this team we've got and the morale that's been built up over the last few weeks.
Absolutely. Gaz, good afternoon, mate. Welcome all the way from Malta. Let's ask you the question then. Let's stand out, mate. We were just saying that Pompey celebrate their 123rd birthday today. If you can pick one, what would you go for and why?
Happy birthday, obviously, Pompey. I've had a lockdown haircut.
I can see, looks good.
I'm quite jealous of Brendan's hair, because mine's gone now. So, we're still shut down over here. So, standout moments. There's been loads. We've had some players as well, when we were, in sort of the Premiership. So being blessed with some of them players and some homegrown players coming through, it's been a joy to watch them as well. But for me, obviously, my first game was in '91 when we beat Newcastle. We beat them 3-1, I believe, on the day. I think it was Anderton, maybe. I think we might have got one, or he was playing anyway. But just back then, I enjoyed the buzz, and I'm still getting it now at 47. So, and obviously now there's a new lease of life in the team, the squad, the fans. It's a positive feeling around everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, and Brendan, it's a buzz you never lose, is it, as a Pompey fan? And 123 years on, it's still shining as brightly as it ever has been.
Oh, massively. I've never been embarrassed to say that I'm a Pompey fan. Never. I've always been proud to support Pompey, and being from the city, and it's so good. There's people you go to school with, and they support Man United and Chelsea, and it's like, you live, you're nowhere near them, and why are you following these teams? Support your local team, and every time you walk through the turnstile at Fratton Park and you feel the atmosphere, and the bells the bells go in, the drums are going, the fans are clapping, and when it's rocking, there's no other feeling than a Fratton Park crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost a home feeling as well on an away game as well. It's like being at home again because of the noise. We've outsung so many fans at their own home ground. So,
especially in the last couple of years, Gaz, as well, in League One, League Two, etc.
Oh, for sure. When we were at York and playing in League Two, I think we were playing playing Milan at Pompey. It's the same feeling. You just can't describe it. And I guess being a Portsmouth fan, our roller coaster of emotions is going to be constant. We don't have that where Man City, they're always at the top. They don't have the roller coaster ride that we do. And I guess that's why we're glutton for punishment. We keep coming back for more. because we just love it.
Just going back to what you said, Gaz, it was Saturday, 5th of October, 91, Division 2, Pompey 3, Newcastle 1. John Beresford and Colin Clark on the score sheet, and a manager, Jim Smith, back in the day, Gaz.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
I think they had an own goal. I think there was an own goal as well, I believe that.
Yeah,
game.
there was, because it's only showing up 2 Pompey goal scorers, but you had Alan Knight in goal, Andy Orford was on the pitch.
Yeah.
Kit Simmons, there's some names in there, aren't there? Darren Anderton was on the pitch, didn't score, but he was there nonetheless. So interestingly, actually, Brendan, speaking about Dan Anderton, it's 31 years, I believe, to the day since he scored for us in the FA Cup. Were you there by any chance?
Oh, what, in 92? No, I was born in
97. Gaz might have been.
My dad was
29 years ago. I think it was 29 years ago at Highbury.
29.
29, I think it was at Highbury, yeah. And what a ball as well. I mean, we were silly as well. We conceded a free kick in the last couple of minutes of injury time. We were going to beat Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? It was like it was our time, and we gave a silly free kick away. And Alan Knight nearly got it as well in goal. He nearly he made the save, and obviously we didn't back the free kick up, and they scored. So
the story of it wasn't the story of it that the guy, was it Ronnie Whelan who scored the goal? He should have been sent off before we gave the free kick away. That was the story, wasn't it? He shouldn't have been on the pitch to score. Put the tap in.
And even Bruce Grobbler was great in goal as well. So we were all over them. It was a great team that was.
Yeah, and Liverpool had a star-studded team there. Like John Barnes was playing from them, wasn't he, as well?
Young McManaman. They had Barry Venison. They had there's some great names in there. But we had some good players as well. I think there was one time when Sick Note Anderton actually ran a few yards and scored a goal, and didn't get injured. So
just to say, boys, and it carries on, but it complements exactly what Brendan was saying. Pompey is like no other team, says Miltos. I could have supported any other team, Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham. List goes on. Pompey is like no other, best team, best fans. We'd love to hear if you could drop them in the live chat down below as we're having the conversation. Let us know some of your favourite Pompey moments. Boys, I'm going to bring it sort of right up to kind of present day, but I don't know if I'm sure Brendan was. I'm not sure about you guys, but for the game against Exeter when we went to Wembley, that 20 minutes at the end of the game was one of the recent times, one of the best ones. Then obviously you got got Notts County, Cheltenham, and they both FA Cup finals as well, and obviously 2008 was the big one. There's even in the last couple of years, there's been some fantastic times. Heading the conversation back to today, we'll wait and see if anyone pops a Pompey memory in the chat. But just to you guys to start off with, after a run of 5 straight home defeats in which they've conceded 16 goals, Wigan are unbeaten in their last 2 at the DW Stadium. Do you think it might be a bit more of a test than some people might be expecting today?
I don't think it's going to be much more of a test than Rochdale. I just think we're just going to be, it's an unchanged team as well, which is pleasing to see, because it means that even in training, that means that, the Cowleys have seen a formation, and for players to play in them positions, and he's not tinkering around with it, because obviously when we played last time, believe it or not, the score was again 2-1 twice. Now we've had 2-1s and 2-1s against Wigan the last times we've played them, and obviously this 2-1 keeps getting banded around lately. But I would take a 2-1 today if I'm honest. But I think obviously with another. Obviously, the quick turnaround from Friday, the boys are going to be buzzing. So, it's great to see that there's not tinkering around with it. The boys know what they're going to be doing. So, it's all positive feelings from here.
Any significance, Brendan, of the last 3 that have been 2-1 wins? And what's happening?
Oh, I think it's us falling asleep. That's the only bit that we're reason why we're conceding goals. If you think the last game against Rochdale, we literally played in their half for like 90% of the game, and then it was only until we made a mistake that they scored. They needed like one chance, and they scored it. Now I know they had that close one in the first half, the ball over the top, and it completely split open our defence and midfield, and then McGilvery pulled off a great save. But people are teams. The last few games, the teams aren't scoring because they're outplaying us. They're scoring because we're making little mistakes and falling asleep. But other than that, I think we can still hold on and easily put them to sleep tonight.
There we go. Gaz, what are you thinking the score might be come sort of 5 o'clock this afternoon, mate? What do you reckon?
Could be 2-1. That could be a good bet. But no, I think I'll go 3-0. I'll go 3-0.
Brendan, what are you saying, mate?
It's got 2-1. To steal your quote, 2-1 written all over it, really, hasn't it?
2-1 written all over it. There we go.
3 games in a row, 2-1s. The last couple of times we played them, it's been 2-1. So it's got it in the stars.
It's true. Written in the stars. Thank you both. Speak to you at half time.
Definitely.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, Tom.
This is how the League One table is looking right now. It's Hull City at the top. Peterborough United are a point behind them, as I said at the top of the show. There is the opportunity for Sunderland or Peterborough to take top spot this afternoon. There's a massive gap there, 8 points or so between Sunderland and Lincoln. Pompey looking to make that gap a little bit smaller this afternoon. Blackpool are also sneaking into the playoffs at the moment. Charlton and Gillingham putting on the pressure. Good afternoon. Oh my word, he's got a cake.
It had to be done. Birthday cake for Pompey.
You've timed that perfectly, mate. I'm surprised the candle's still on.
I had to undo the candle a couple of times. I burnt my fingers with wax at the moment. I was thinking he's coming, and then but brought it on. So looking forward to today. It's going to be awesome, absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it is, and I'm sorry to put a sort of a dampener on proceedings, Aaron. I'm going to quickly add Richard to the conversation as well, but I'm just going to show you the situation at the bottom of the league. We just looked at the top, so let's have a quick look at the bottom where Wigan are at the moment. It's not worked, has it? No, we're not going to have that. We're not going to do that yet. We're going to do that in just a few moments, Aaron. Before we do that, how are you feeling ahead of today's game? You said you're positive. Could we perhaps be looking at a 4-0 written all over it today?
Yeah, why not? Why not? The goals that we've let in over the last couple of games, like Brendan said, they've been silly little mistakes. So the Crowleys are going to fix that. They're going to say, look, don't go to sleep. We need to start keeping clean sheets. He's got every faith in them, and why not? We're going to be a good result today, and hopefully keep a clean sheet as well.
I know you're a man that likes to look around at the other games that are going on in the league, and I know a lot of Pompey fans will be at this late stage at the season anyway. But Peterborough Sunderland is a significant one today. It's live on Sky Sports, and either side, as I've been saying in the last sort of 20-30 minutes or so, could go top of the league if Hull City lose today. You know, is that a game that Pompey really kind of want to point out of that one, don't we? I know we're quite far behind at this moment.
Yeah, well, all we got to do is just concentrate on us. As long as we keep winning, then if they slip up, it'd be lovely for the Sunderland to get a draw today and Hull to lose. But we've just got to concentrate on ourselves. As long as we keep winning and putting pressure on them, they might actually make a mistake and actually falter then. So let's just concentrate on us, and then at the end of at 5 o'clock, then have a look at the league and see where everyone stands.
Right, a little bit later than Build, but let's see where Wigan are on the table. It's interesting to have a look there. They're not down and out of it by any stretch of the imagination, are they? They're sort of 2 points off Swindon in safety, and you would have thought they will be fighting for their lives. Bristol Rovers have played a game more than they're only point behind them. With quite a few games to go, there is still every opportunity for any of them to get back up there. You look at sort of Rochdale at the bottom of the league, and I know they've got Ipswich Town today, but they're only a couple of points off from being safe. So a run of wins together would do them nicely, wouldn't it? Good afternoon to Richard. A very warm welcome along.
Tom. All right.
For being with us once again. First of all, I will ask you the same question I've asked all the boys, and Aaron's even bought a cake and a candle with him. So, Sean, when you join us, mate, I'm expecting something rather extravagant to celebrate. But just to say, Richard, is there something that sticks out in your mind that's your go-to favourite moment following Pompey for however long you have been?
I would say, well, for myself, it would probably be the first home game that I went to when I started working in Chimes with Kev McCormack. You know, I think that was the buzz, the sound, a full stadium, and I think that was the thing that sort of pulled me in. So what was that, 98 that was? So I can't remember the game it was, but it was just a case of the enjoyment. It's like, the wow factor, I think. And I think that's what a lot of people get, isn't it? You've never been to Fratton Park before. You get a lively crowd, and you get that wow. And I think, and the thing is, it's not always depending who it is that you're playing. It's pretty much all the time, isn't it? Even when the chips are down, it brings the supporters up even higher. To get the team, going hopefully in the right direction.
Absolutely. Let's focus our minds to today, Richard, and a Wigan Athletic side. We've just seen are in a pretty perilous position in the league as it stands. What are you expecting to come out of this one today?
I'm thinking of a positive game. I was thinking early on today, because the last two games that we've had, it's like Shaw mentioned last week, with the lads having fatigue near the end of the game. Are we looking at being a team which are very strong in the first 45? Show the dominance, get the goals then, and then sort of hold back, and just sort of soak up their attack, because I think, if that's the route that they're going, because, the players may not be fully up to the 90 minutes at the moment, if we can get them 3 early goals, if anything, in the first half, then, it gives us that chance, doesn't it? It allows them to sort of sit back. We don't want it like we've had before, where we sit back too much and we're like on our own 6-yard line. And, we're getting balls flying in all over the place, for them to get the possibility of a goal. But I think, it's all the positives, isn't it? Once again this week, over the weekend, he's been online, the Q&A stuff that him and, Nicky have done. They're not watchcourt. They're not sort of spending the time away from the club, either. They've come, they want to show what they've got. Fans have bought into them, massively. The wins that we've had, good results, something that we haven't seen for a long time on the pitch. And, the only way, is up, isn't it? I say, Wigan are fighting, they drew against Ipswich, they haven't had a good run of other results, but it all depends how things are financially with themselves, because they were going through a bit of turmoil, weren't they, earlier on in the year? If that's still, sort of going on, we could, that's what their focus might be in the background, and they might be reluctant to be, we're a League Two side from next season. So, but no, I'm feeling really positive actually today.
Aaron, I know you're a massive fan of the Cowleys already, and what Pompey fan isn't. But just to build on what Richard was saying there, they have, to use his words, they've allowed us to buy into them massively, haven't we? The Cowleys as not only the management, but as also the figurehead of the football club, and how important is that going into this really crucial period now that they haven't put a foot wrong yet, have they? In terms of the time they've been here for.
No, not at all. And the best thing is they're actually going to see the under-10s, the under-11s. They're speaking to other parts of the club, even the Pompey ladies. They're actually speaking to them as well. So I've just seen Watford on the telly. So even the owners and everything as well, even their Twitter feeds and everything, they've got nothing bad to say about them. They're very positive. They're letting them just free reign and letting them just get on with it. So it is a breath of fresh air. And if let's just say they do get us up this season, I can actually see them being offered a 2 to 3 year contract. I know it's that they've been given a 3-month contract, but if they can actually turn the tide and get us up, then I think good things are going to be happening to this football club over the next few years.
And Richard, the Cowley brothers are a management duo that you'd very much relish the Pompey Championship Challenge next season with, wouldn't you?
Oh, it'd be absolutely phenomenal, wouldn't it? Seeing the way that the pair of them are on the touchline, how they are with the players. It was like Aaron was saying, all the stuff that they're seeing, with the stuff outside, whilst in the club, but outside, with the younger kids and this, that, and the other. You don't want it to be a bridge too far that they're, showing what Pompey fans have wanted for a long, long time, but then come at the end of it, it's just like, oh, sorry, we couldn't deliver. And then they go, and then we get something, and then we go back to where we were at the start of last season, so we just, it'd be great if this continues through, because at the end of the day, so what they've done, they the fans have bought into it straight away, haven't they? We haven't lost. We've had the wins on the table. We're moving back up into the playoffs. Everything is, is ticking all the boxes. And they, Mark Catlin, must be sat there, in the evening thinking that, it's the best move that they've done in a long, long time. Because yes, okay, under jacket, winning the cup, etc. It's. They're little things. This is the key, isn't it? an EFL Papa John's Trophy final, isn't Pompey, is it? We want to be going up into the Championship. We want to get back into the Premiership, one day, and that's where the money is, isn't it? Not, playing cups for pizzas and this, that, and the other. So I think, it's a massive positive. And I think the first 45 today, it'll be I would like to think a strong performance. Close is back in, there's a few doubts whether he was going to play, but if he wasn't going to play, we've got Cannon, we've got Harvey White, we've got other players who fill into that position, haven't we? So it's a very strong midfield, and hopefully Curtis leading the line again today, he'll be able to produce the goods like he did on Friday.
Aaron, just finally, before we bring Commander Hamilton into the conversation, Michael said, favourite moment was my first game at Fratton End. Safety steward. I sat behind the goal by the wall. Best view ever. Could have been a riot going on behind me. I was too busy watching the game. Aaron, I haven't yet asked you. That's a great story, by the way. Haven't yet asked you, Aaron. What is your favourite Pompey moment? You brought the cake with you, but you didn't tell us what your favourite moment's been.
Oh, there's been so many over the years. Like Brendan named half of them already. With the finals, even like with Paul Mercer in the squad. But my very, very first time at Fratton Park was the day after my 5th birthday when my mum took us. It was against Doncaster Rovers in Division 3 and we won 2-1. So, yeah, that was my very, very first experience of Fratton Park. And there was only, I think, about 9,500 fans there. But that's one of my favourites, and another one of my favourites is taking my son to Fratton Park for the very first time when we played Bournemouth in a 3-3 friendly at Fratton Park, and Gareth Evans was signing shirts and everything in the Pompey shop, and Reece had his photo with Gareth Evans, and he made him his god. And just experiencing loads of things with Reece and everything at all the football matches. Like the finals, taking him to when we won the League 2 and got on the pitch and everything. It was, there's so many to choose from, but the two outstanding ones is my very first when I was 5 years old, and then taking Reece to his very first one at Fratton Park, meeting some of the players as well.
There we go. Gents, thank you very much for the moment. We're going to take a look at the way the two teams compare form-wise, but thank you for the moment, and we'll speak to you both at half-time.
Yep,
there we go. Lovely. A link that actually works this time. Andrew's going to join us as well, but as we can see there, Wigan Athletic and Pompey's form's looking a little bit more appealing now, isn't it? You can see the difference there between the two sides. Well, not double the amount of points tally, but you can definitely see there's a stark contrast between the two, and perhaps we'll see the reason maybe why Wigan are down there at the bottom of the table, and Andrew's completely out of shot. But welcome to you both. Thanks for being with us. Sean, just first of all, it's a happy birthday to Pompey today. Can you give us your favourite moment from however long you've been watching us?
My favourite moment would have been the FA Cups semi-finals with Liverpool, where we won the first in the replay. We got beaten, and it's one of my earliest memories. And heartbreak going to school the next day, and all my Liverpool mates giving me grief.
Yeah, we've had plenty of that over the years, haven't we? From friends, from teams that they don't actually support them, but they watch them on the telly twice a week. Andrew, I was going to ask you actually, it is Pompey's 123rd birthday today, as you're just joining us. Have you got a standout moment in your mind that you always go to? I know what you're going to say, but would you mind telling us how many years it's been watching Pompey?
No, I'd rather not disclose that, Tom. That gives away too much, doesn't it? No, but I have had a season ticket for just shy of 48 years.
Wow.
So it's not bad.
No, it's not. That's pretty good going.
And I think we've also been to every game, every stadium in the country, I think.
You probably have. I don't think I have.
Team play. I must look that up, but I've been to every away game in the...
You might not have been to like the new ones though, like the Wimbledon Stadium, for example, or the
we went to the old one,
or the Brentford's new one as well.
The latest one, Chelsea's training ground,
where they play, sort of thing.
Kingstonian's ground, isn't it?
Is there a standout moment in your mind from 48 years of watching us? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I might have to think about that, Tom, for the best moment. But I know it. What am I talking about? Of course I know it.
I was going to say...
David Norris,
there you go.
equaliser against Southampton. And I have to say, watching Pompey, it doesn't matter, FA Cup finals, whatever, that was the best moment for sure. What a moment in my life that was. Myself and Alexander in St Mary's at the away end. It went absolutely berserk. Best I've seen ever. Brilliant.
And that supersedes FA Cup finals and everything.
Even supersedes, Tom.
The day I was born.
Pedro Mendes. Yes, one or two things supersede that, Tom. Drinking a cup of tea supersedes that, right?
Thanks.
No, the other one was Pedro Mendes, of course, against Man City.
Yeah.
That volley from outside the box. Great finish. But the most important one, David Norris. Brilliant. Best moment of my
season
life, by far.
To bring matters back to today, Sean, how do you see this one going away at the DW Stadium, somewhere that we have a team that we have relative history from in the last couple of years? What are your thoughts on this afternoon?
I'm expecting more of the same from Pompey. A strong performance, going at it first 45, and then using the squad again in the second half, trying to get towards the end. I think it'll be a hard game initially, but we'll come away with the points. I think Wigan are obviously in a lot of turmoil at the minute anyway. They've actually strung a few good results together over the season, considering the sort of change in personnel, losing players, etc. But I think we'll get the 3 points today, and it should be quite comfortable. I'm hoping to see more of the Cowley sort of tactics.
I believe that's David James' shirt.
Is that David James' shirt behind you, Sean?
Yeah, there he is. England's number one. What a man.
And then, do you remember that one?
What have we got there? Oh, well, look at the hats. That's unbelievable.
That was in the newspaper at the FA Cup final.
There you go.
And a friend of mine got it printed for me.
That's nice. Not just appearances on Fournil written all over it, everyone. He's also been in the papers. Very cool. I'm just gonna add to Andrew. Actually, we haven't asked you how you're all feeling about today. You're probably going to say a stalwart 4-0 win, but do you want to provide us a bit of reasoning for that opinion as well?
We'll score 4 and they won't, Tom. That's my reasoning. 4-0.
Why do we always get a smart answer from you?
That's it. I just got it. I feel it in my bones. Today's the day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, actually, do you want to tell the story? In the Premier League, what was the scoreline against Wigan Athletic when we last played them?
We beat them 4-0.
We did.
In the Premier League.
So if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does.
And we went to Wigan that season, remember, away. I think we won that 2-1.
Please don't quote random scorelines when I haven't had a chance to look it up.
No, I think we lost it 2-1. But yeah, I think we lost the game 2-1. But we had the magnificent Mexican flavoured burger in that burger shop, didn't we?
We did.
Massive.
It was massive. Yeah. It was. Sean Meads has said, Sean, from one Sean to another, promotion at Northampton. We've had this conversation before the weekend, and I know you're sort of going to be another 4 games if we win today before you join the clan of we're going up automatically. Would you be disappointed to see Pompey be promoted automatically without any fans there? I know, and this is probably a silly question, but it's something that we'd really want to be there to see, isn't it, and witness.
By hook or crook, we need to be in the Championship. Yes, it'd be nice for the fans to be there, but I'm sure we'll all celebrate anyway.
Okay, fair play. And Adam is here, and he'll be joining us very shortly. Kevin has said Benjani, his first goal at Wigan, but I'm old enough to remember Ray Hiron. Is anyone?
Ray Hiron, yeah.
Anyone old enough to remember Ray Hiron?
Kevin's a few years older than me, Tom.
He is a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say one of the best goals I saw was the Owusu Abeyi one, and I think the same match. And when he went up the wing and came in across the shot, I don't think he did anything for us the rest of the season. And then he left and went off somewhere else. But that goal he scored was amazing.
Sorry to bring things back down to earth today, back in discussing League One football, Sean. But how important is it, particularly for Ben Close? I wanted to ask you about, because there was a couple of comments in the last couple of days from Ryan Williams. I don't know if you heard what he said. It was rather interesting, him saying that the previous manager, it wasn't Ben Close's cup of tea, or Ben Close wasn't his cup of tea.
Yeah.
Confidence-wise, as a Pompey boy, starting week in, week out, it can't be better for him right now, can it?
It must be awesome to get the pat on the back. And also, when you think about a lot of the stuff that's come through the midfield, is coming through him. He's dictating the play. He's got a lovely, sweet pass on him. The Cowleys are playing to his strength, so he's got to be, on top of the world at the minute. And yeah, him and Jacobs, I think, work really well. I think Jacobs set up Ronan Curtis in the last game. And I think, just that vision that those two have coming to the midfield gives us more options. It's that change from the hoof ball that was bypassed in the midfield to actually playing it out. And I think that high tempo, it suits his play.
And that's definitely something that I think we'll have too much for Wigan Athletic today. Just to add as well, how confident can Marcus Harness be today that he might be able to get on the score sheet for, the third time in 4 games or so?
He's been on fire. He's been doing really well. His confidence is up, and I think I said at the start of the season, we have confidence players, in those roles. The Williams, Harness, and they're playing off the confidence that the Cowleys have given them. And suddenly, I think we're going to see them start putting the goals in. I think Andrew could be right. It could be 4-0 today. It just depends whether we concede one at the end. I think it'll be a high-scoring game.
Well, that was really slick. That was. Yeah, I said to him, have a chat with Sean while I write the team news down.
Well, I want to show him this one straight in from Buckingham Palace. I don't know if you can see this, but this message comes straight in from Buckingham Palace. Can you see that?
It's
very good.
Yeah.
Always red blue.
She always wears blue.
Especially on match day.
Yeah, she knows we're away at Wigan today. She just sent me that in a quick text message. I'll send you that one.
Thanks.
I'll send you that. Yeah, keep that one and get it printed, mate. Yeah, we love it.
Stick on the wall with the rest.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Well, it was interesting to see that you actually did work for the Queen at one point in your life for a little while. We understand, as Tom was telling me earlier in the week, which is real credit to you, my son. Well done. Services to the country and the Queen. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's right now.
Yeah, I know you do, mate. Most of you are very humble chaps, but we do appreciate it anyway. So I could only wish that I did the same thing, but unfortunately, I was a hairdresser, as you can see. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, Tom.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say only one result for Wigan to write home about this season, Sean, and it was a 1-0 win at the Stadium of Light this season. Other than that, they failed to beat many teams around them. Is there any hope for them right now, as you see it? For it's not the great escape because there's only a couple of points in it. But do you think they will go down this season, or are you waiting to see what you see from today to make that decision?
I just think when you look at them, I think they've got some hard running games coming up as well. Looking at the fixtures, and when you look where the points are going to come from, I don't think they're going to get enough, and that's the problem. And I think there's probably an element. I think I mentioned before that they're probably already planning for League Two next year, to a degree, and trying to get a stable team so that when they do eventually go down, that they'll hit the ground running. Because it's hard to stop that tumble down the leagues when you start the personnel changes and the team and the morale. It's very, very hard to stop it, and it sort of gathers momentum. I think they're in that at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick says his first game was Wimbledon in 1979. Nick, I think that probably beats all of us on the stream. I don't know about the comments.
Apart from me.
Apart from you, obviously, yeah. Sorry, I forgot.
You forgot about me.
You look so young. That's the problem.
That was in the old Plough Lane, that was, Tom.
Would it have been?
Yeah, 79 would have been the old Plough Lane, the original dog track.
Before we let Sean go and enjoy the game, I just wanted to say, and before we speak to Adam as well, I believe I've messed it up completely, but it's on this day was Darren Anderton's goal at the old Highbury Stadium.
Yeah, it was there.
You were there. Could you tell us a little bit about how that was being there as a Pompey fan?
I'd like to, Tom, but we got there about 11:30. We were straight in the pub.
Right.
And unfortunately, the group of lads I was with, mate, were stood on the tables with flags and singing and dancing. And it was just a great old party. And I don't remember too much about it.
Did you see the goal, at least?
I did, but it was a bit misty. It was a bit foggy. So I can't really describe it too much. I can't really describe that too much, Tom. But it was a good day out, that's for sure. Beautiful sunny day.
This might beat you, Andrew. Anthony Martin, Bristol City in 1963, Anthony, back in the day.
I dipped my cap, my son. Well done.
Absolutely. Sean, score prediction from you, please, sir. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go 4-0.
Lovely.
Oh, good man.
That's what we like to see. Right, we'll speak to you at half time, mate.
Right.
Thank you, gents. If you've got to this point in the stream already and you haven't yet subscribed, please do consider doing so. It really helps the channel out. We're on the way to 8,000 subscribers. We're also on Instagram and Twitter too. Make sure to check us out over there.
Be sure to check us out over there. I reiterate my own self and what I was asking you to do earlier on. A good afternoon to Mr. Adam Poirier. Welcome along to the stream, mate. Lovely to have you with us. Better late than never.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say better late than never. I've just come from a big cycle ride, you know, trying to cut down and
Lovely.
look more presentable for when I come out of this hibernation.
Wonderful. Well, where did you go?
Bosom area. So yeah,
oh.
I was down at Bosom today.
Very nice. Oh, he's got his cherry touches. Down in the Bosom area, Sean Meads knows that place well. Adam, you're sat here just 7 minutes away from a Wigan Athletic Pompey game that you look rather confident about.
Yeah. I think for once I'm going to say 4-0 straight away.
Oh, lovely.
I know.
Man, listen to him talking.
I know. I'm a different man, but I do think they've had a fall from grace. You know, it's not easy to see a team like that, but yeah, I think it with our team rejuvenated, I think it should be the goals flowing through. I think Curtis is the best I've seen him play in a long time. So yeah, easily I think a couple of goals could go here. I think the clean sheet would be even better for us.
Yeah, and hopefully something different to a 2-1 win as well would be great.
The 2-1 curse of the Cowboys so far.
Exactly. I know you're sort of very confident about a 4-0 win, Andrew, but I haven't yet asked you about the situation with the 2-1 wins. Why do we keep conceding under Danny Cowley? I know you're going to say, if I had the answer to that, I'd be the manager. But if we're sat here where we've conceded on 3 separate occasions a goal, 2 of them in the sort of last period of the game, is that just, a case of getting used to the way we were trying to play under these new boys?
Well, no, Tom, I don't think it is. I think it's 2 things. One, we press really high up the field and we're working really hard for 75 minutes. The boys are exhausted, aren't they? High tempo, high pressure, and running at speed, different to what they're used to. A lot of 3 or 4 years of really not doing too much, and then all of a sudden being asked to uprate your work rate by 50% and some. And I think also we push up so far that the back 4 obviously push up with it, and then we leave ourselves a bit vulnerable, I think. I would, if I'm being honest, I would have Charlie Daniels in there rather than Brown at the back. That's my honest opinion. I think he's got more to offer than Brown. I think Brown does enough, but he's not, for me, he's a slower guy, and he didn't get forward enough. Some of his crosses that we saw last week, we could have got another couple of goals if they'd been a bit more accurate. And I think Charlie Daniels is a much better left foot. And I think Daniels probably would tire quicker. That's the only thing I'd say. So I'd probably play Daniels and bring Brown in with 20 minutes to go, something like that. That would be where I would do it, and get ahead of steam, get a couple, 3, 4 goals before we change it.
Adam, could tiredness perhaps be a bit of a factor? Andrew's mentioned the high tempo there, and the Cowleys are asking a lot of the boys that have been so used to sort of, it's all right, relax, chill kind of football, as opposed to this sort of high intensity, high press, let's get the game going type of thing.
I mean, our first halves, like every single game under them, our first halves have been electric. Like the best football we play. We slow down a lot in the second half. I see. It's not the football that's amazing in the second half, but we are really, really doing really well in the first halves. I like the way we're playing, but it's understandable that the fitness isn't going to be there. He's playing the same players week in, week out. There's not many changes as well. Yes, we did have a big break, so it may start to hinder us when we're starting to play more frequent games with the he might need more rotation, who knows. But I do agree Charlie Daniels is a lot more of a creative player as well. Lee Brown does struggle with a bit of pace, but I think Lee Brown may be the better defender, Charlie Daniels may be the better attacker. But then again,
which one would you take?
I don't know. Then Charlie Daniels' first couple of games were really good under us, and he's sort of slowly fallen off. I don't know. He's not been the best he could be, but I don't know. I really don't know who I'd rather have there. I really don't know. Steve Seddon, that's who I'd rather have there.
Who would you rather have from the 2, Andrew?
I said it earlier, Tom. I'd have Daniels for definite.
Okay.
I do think he's an all-round better player, if I'm honest. Brown's all right, solid, hard man, but he's a lot slower. In a team that's got pace like this, getting back is an issue for him as well, I think. And that could leave us a bit a bit more vulnerable at the back. That's just my opinion.
Daniels is a leader, isn't he? Daniels does command the bench quite a lot, and he does shout at players, get the ball up, and I think even if he's not on the pitch, he's still a big character. So, I mean, there's probably a lot of benefits to having him anyway, even if he's not playing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, for sure. Just in the dressing room before the game, you're right. He's going to have a lot of experience as well. He's got obviously came up with Bournemouth for a few seasons, didn't he? Up the leagues. And played in the Premier League. So he's a decent guy, and I think he's a decent fella as well, to be honest. I think he's a nice guy.
Of course, yeah.
Final thing from you, my friend. What is you thinking for the scoreline this afternoon?
Well, I did say 4-0 at the start, and I think I'm sticking with that. I think clean sheet. I always say it is really important. We need to get out of that 2-1. We need to stop conceding. That would just bode so well for later on. Like we need to stop conceding goals. The 2-1 curse needs to stop under the Cowleys. I mean, it's not a bad curse to have. We're still winning the games. Don't get me wrong, but I want a clean sheet.
Enjoy the game, mate. Speak to you soon.
See you later.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, buddy.
Right, there we go then. Let's get things underway then. Let's swap you around so everyone's happy that you're on that side. Jake has said, so happy with Raggett now then, Andrew. Your favourite player, is he on the back of your shirt?
Jake, mate, I think you know what I think of Raggett, and I'm not going to be disrespectful to the man because he's had a couple of really good games. And it's all about the attitude towards the game, the attitude towards the player, isn't it? And making the best of that player.
Yeah.
I would still think there's better centre-halves than him, and he's still, for me, is just a little bit too don't be disrespectful to him, Tom, because he's a good player, but he just sometimes, for me, I don't feel comfortable when he's on his own at the back with the ball, passing it across. I don't like it, and I think it's dangerous, and he's vulnerable sometimes.
It's been detrimental to the side already this season, hasn't it? And that's
Jack made a few mistakes as well along the way.
Well, defenders do, don't they? It's just Raggett makes a few more than your average, doesn't he?
Also, give Raggett some respect. He was under a lot of pressure under Jacket when we were losing lots of games, and the pressure was on the back four from teams, wasn't it?
And it only really got worse then, didn't it? If you
so it didn't make
pressure.
it any easier for him. But now he's got support around him. He's got a team around him that can play in football. He's not under so much pressure, so therefore the obvious mistakes don't look so obvious, do they?
Yeah, and they're kind of disguised by a really good Pompey performance, aren't they? Which is
he's not put under pressure so much. He's not going to make so many mistakes because he's not put in a position where he could make those mistakes.
Jack Green has said today's game will be the hardest from now till the end of the season. Wigan are on a low but still a strong squad. 3-0 Pompey up the Blues. Yeah, interestingly enough, we had a little look into this, Andrew. I was going to provide you. I don't expect to comment on it because it's sort of news to you as much as it is to anyone else who might not already be aware. But the takeover for Wigan is done, and it has been done by a consortium led by Bahraini businessman Abdul Ram Al Jasmini. It went through in the last couple of weeks or so. You know that a sort of an ownership can really rejuvenate a side almost to the extent that a managerial change can have. Obviously, I know you don't know very much about this change, but having had a 12-point deduction from their championship campaign, good news for Wigan fans at least. Perhaps it's too little too late in terms of their season, unless they can get a really good string of results together. But how do you feel about that from our point of view today?
Well, firstly, Tom, I don't, as you rightly say, I don't know too much about them. I haven't done too much research on this background, but it's got to be better than where they were 2 or 3 weeks ago, isn't it? The fans will feel a bit hard about it because they probably will. Depends how much you dig in there. We would have said the same thing about Chanrai when he joined us, wouldn't we? You know, we were so excited about it, and then within a month,
it all went a bit pear-shaped,
wrong again. So we've been there enough times ourselves. So I don't like it when a team's a football club's in trouble like they were, and also like Bury, that sort of stuff, because we're only here by the skin of our teeth, aren't we? Let's face it. The fans got behind the club, didn't they? As we all know. So yeah, good luck to Wigan with regards to that, Tom. I have no problem with that. I don't actually think they're going to get relegated either, Tom. I think they've got enough in their locker to get out of this. I think there's 3 or 4 teams that are more worse than them actually in this league, and I think there's possibly 2 or 3 teams that probably haven't got as much money as they've got now as well.
The Pompey team are in a huddle in the beautiful orange kit that we all know and love. I'm sporting it today. Andrew is wearing his favourite pink and purple one. Hello to Ollie Ward, who's just joined the stream. Welcome along, mate. Thanks for being with us. We will try and do our best to enjoy the game, and I'm sure we will, because it's something that we're all very much looking forward to. We are about to get off and underway. Wigan have kick-off at home at the DW Stadium. The referee today is just making sure that both keepers are ready to get off and underway. The whistle will be blowing imminently. Before that, the knee will be taken. And I'll just talk you through your Wigan Athletic lineup. Is in goal number 1, Jamie Jones. A back four of Luke Robinson, George Johnston, Curtis Tilt and Tendaye Darikura. Viv Solomon Otterbourne is a name you might recognise and used to play for Pompey. Theo Asgard, Lee Evans, Funzo Ojo, and up top, Jamie Proctor and Callum Lang. We are off, and Wigan Athletic are in possession early doors here. Kickoff has just got underway, and automatically there is a bit of a push out of touch. Marcus Harness tumbling down, and that will be a throw in for the home side. 20 seconds in on this near touchline. And those numbers on the back of the shirts are incredibly hard to read already, which is not good news at all. A ball at the pitch is blocked completely by, I believe that's Ryan Williams. Linesman on this near touch side signals for the second Wigan Athletic throw-in of the afternoon, just 40 seconds into the game. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon. It's cleared up a little bit on the south coast. It was quite cloudy and overcast earlier on today, and it has been for most of the country. Some of us even seen some snow so far today, which is interesting. I believe Richard in Shropshire woke up to a light covering of the white stuff. Ball is back with Craig McGilvray. He takes his first punt up the DW Stadium pitch of the afternoon, and Callum Johnson rises for the header, doesn't win it, and this one's now down with Wigan Athletic. A little bit of a cut out there. I think Curtis, it might have been Funzo Ojo, perhaps, who was protesting to the referee. We'll get a foul this time, and I believe it's Ryan Williams that sort of niggled the back of his right hand boot and has meant that it sort of came off him momentarily. I don't know why they're going to show a replay of that particularly. It's not the most interesting thing to happen, is it? First free kick for Wigan of the afternoon has been taken. Here they come now, a minute and a half in, and it's a cross ball pass down to the near touchline. And there is the number 17, Viv Solomon Otterbourne, cutting inside and playing a cross ball pass that Lee Brown will chase. It's actually, I think, who's that over there? Oh, that's Michael Jacobs chasing that over to the far side. This is Curtis Tilt. Cuts inside for Wigan Athletic. They're enjoying a lot of the ball at the moment. Callum Lang playing a little bit deeper than his earlier advertised position, but Sean Raggett's done really well to win that one back, and but turnover in possession for the team playing in orange this afternoon. A mighty Pompey. Michael Jacobs' ball is headed towards Ronan Curtis, but that won't be a really easy one for the centre-half George Johnston, Scottish, 22 years old. Gets the ball back from Jamie Jones after headering back to him, and the ball is through. It could have been a dangerous ball if perhaps Viv Solomon Otterbourne had been a little bit more alert to it, but that's all the way through to Craig McGilvray, and this is now Sean Raggett, who's basking in the sunshine on that far touchline this afternoon in Greater Manchester. What's the time stamp? It is 2 minutes 45 at this moment in time. Hello to Max Delph. Welcome along to the stream, mate. Hope you're doing really well today. Raggett now with the ball still at his feet. It's a long ball, which is unusual because I haven't seen that for a while. Perhaps you're slipping back into old habits, which is always the way. It can always be the case. And there's the ball towards Pompey. I haven't quite got a foothold of the ball this afternoon. They've been dispossessed once again. Referee says nothing wrong with that. He got the ball, which he pretty much did. Some might see that the other way. Viv Solomon Otterbourne now on the turn. Callum Johnson sticks a leg in. Referee deems that as a punishable offence, and that will be a free kick just outside the box. Andrew, what have you made of the opening 3 minutes or so? Been all the home side, really, isn't it?
Well, they've had the ball, Tom, and they're playing with it like we do. So give them some credit, mate. They're having a go, aren't they? They're not going to give up easily. We did say sometimes a little bit of injection of enthusiasm when things change in the back room, Tom. But we've got to get the ball off them and start playing our football. They've had 2 minutes, 3 or 4, nearly 4 minutes now of playing with the ball, haven't they?
Constantly playing with the ball. I know you can't. I'm just adjusting the lighting ever so slightly.
Free kick, Tom. It's in the sunshine there, and McGilvray's a little bit.
It's George Johnston who's the man standing over it. Referees marked out Marcus Harness and Ben Close, who are stood in the ball. In comes the right-footed delivery. It's not a one that's going to challenge Jack Watmore too much, as he's the only man in the sort of the same postcode as the ball in, but it's still alive for Wigan Athletic. Get the ball across, header down across the face of goal, and Tom Naylor on the half volley to volley it away to Lee Evans. Not to be confused with the hilarious comedian. This is Michael Jacobs now. Blackpool have gone a goal up against Gillingham, but here, back at the DW, Ryan Williams is charging down the left-hand side, and Curtis in front of goal, and he's just a tad too late to that one. You would have thought, Ange, you'd be able to just get anything on it, just a stretch and a punt, and that might have been 1-0 Pompey from Curtis there. Still alive with Callum Johnson. Michael Jacobs on the right-hand side on the spin. Finds Marcus Harness, who's the nearest to the touchline. Lovely 1-2 ball with Callum Johnson to the dead ball line with Marcus Harness. The ball ricochets off the, I believe it's Luke Robinson, claims for a handball from the home side. Referee's not interested, and Jack Watmore, once again wins his header, gets the ball back at him. Fortunately, he can only give it back to a man in a blue and white shirt, and here come Wigan Athletic again. I was about to say over halfway, but he's chosen to go back there. Solomon Otterbohr. First chance on the break there for Pompey. Ronan Curtis with the chance of the game so far. I can confirm Jerry Yates is the man with the goal at Blackpool, at Bloomfield Road. Not sure if that means they will displace Pompey in the league standings right now. I'd have to check the league table. I'm sure someone might be able to tell us in the comments. 5.5 minutes has been played at the DW Stadium. Sort of mirrors the situation on Friday, actually, Andrew, with the pitch partially being obscured by the sun as Wigan Athletic get things going again down this near touchline. Theo Asgard now, the 18-year-old Norwegian, and it's a dangerous ball in, and Jack Watmore can do nothing but head it. Doesn't head it out. It heads out for a Wigan Athletic throw, but it came off I believe it was the right shin of Jack Watmore. Wigan Athletic taking their time to get it going again. It wasn't an awful boot into touch from Jack Watmore. And this is Luke Robinson, the 19-year-old left back for Wigan, who's thrown the ball into George Johnston. This is Curtis Tilt, the Jamaican 29-year-old. And there's Tendaye Darakura, also 29, playing in the right-back position for Wigan today. And that's the first Pompey throw-in on that far side. Lee Brown's going to take it rather quickly, looks to find Curtis, but much to Andrew's discontentment, as you saw there, Tendaye Darika got there before he did. This is Luke Robinson now. Ball up the pitch is way too easy, and Jack Watmore will get the last touch, and that'll be another Wigan Athletic throw-in on this near touchline. Not getting too much in terms of the final product, Wigan, but they're the team with all the ball at the minute, Andrew.
Yeah, they're playing some good football, Tom. It's quite impressive, really, isn't it? They're playing fast-paced like we do, at a fast tempo. And it's going to be an interesting game, isn't it?
It is. They're more than up for it, aren't they? Which is probably what we would expect. And 7 minutes in, it's strange to see, because we're used to the last three games. Pompey completely dominated this period of the game, haven't they? It's a long throw in from the near touchline, header on, dangerous still in the box, and Callum Johnson will eventually put his boot through
That's
it.
what you do with it.
That is what you do with it, but not a way to Wigan Athletic 7 minutes in, Andrew, when we're a team fighting for promotion to the championship.
But that's what you got to get rid of it, Tom. And that's probably been the message from the manager. If you're in that situation, it's bouncing around. It's a 50-50 ball in it. Just stick your boot through it. Get rid.
No arguments to be had there.
If you're not under pressure, then fair enough. But we're under extreme pressure, weren't we?
That is surprising to see. The first 7 minutes, Wigan Athletic with almost 80% of the ball there, 79 to Pompey's 21. They've got it again here. Luke Robinson on the near touchline has beaten Marcus Harness, looks to find Viv Solomon Otterbohr, but Callum Johnson had something to say about that, and Jack Watmore will fire one long to Ronan Curtis now. He's almost sort of bundled over inadvertently by the Wigan player. I believe it's George Johnson, who was already laying on the ground from going up for a previous ball, and the ball is now with Marcus Harness. Pokes one through to Bane Close. He's almost a decoy there, Ryan Williams, and then it's into Michael Jacobs, who has an opportunity not too far from the 6-yard line, actually, and that one will be Lee Brown's to throw in.
Who's coming for it?
Yeah, there's no one there for him at the minute, so he thought about chucking it in straight away. It might be a long one from Lee Brown, the experienced Pompey left back playing today. Michael Jacobs is there for him.
There's the movement I was talking to you about, Tom.
There it is.
It's the movement.
Ben Close has received the ball from Lee Brown. It's now back with him, and the ball will take a deflection and result in a corner. Tendaye Darakura has conceded that one. It's the first one for Pompey of the afternoon. Nearly 9 minutes now has been played at the DW Stadium. We're live on Fournilwrittenalloverit. If you haven't yet left the stream a like, it'd be great if you could do so. We'll be with you until 5:30 this afternoon, giving you everything you need to know about the Pompey game this afternoon, should you not be able to watch it. A very good question, actually, that's just come in from Retro Shirt Sean. Obviously, the opening sort of 9 minutes have been all Wigan Athletic, Andrew, but can they keep it up is the question he's asked. We'll discuss that in a moment as the ball comes in from Michael Jacobs. It's an easy one for Jamie Jones in goal, just to prod away with two hands and a fist, and It might be the second corner of the afternoon. No, it won't be. It will trickle out to Michael Jacobs on that far side. He's going to put a ball in the sun. It's gone beyond the clouds. Out it comes again at the DW, and Ben Close now finds Lee Brown. He's one of the furthest men back for Pompey as Jack Watmore tracks back to retake his position in the back four. That one's long to Sean Raggett. Not quite sure what he's doing there attacking the ball. Harness can't win it back, but there's Callum Johnson now, who might be able to give it back to Harness if he looks outside. He does so. Harness, opportunity to put the ball in, and that one will be a throw-in, almost a corner, right in the. It went just the wrong side of the corner flag for Marcus Harness, didn't it there, Andrew?
Yeah.
Whether Pompey won't mind too much if it's a throw-in or a corner. Callum Johnson, nonetheless, will trot over and take it, and there's the Pompey captain, Tom Naylor, who is the recipient, and that one's bundled out of play by, I believe it's, not sure who it is back there, do it on defensive duty because I can't see his number. I believe it was Callum Lang, but would be quite surprised. He's meant to be operating in a forward position. Callum Johnson once again takes the throw in and finds Michael Jacobs this time onto Marcus Harness. Wasn't really in a position to receive it. Turnover in possession as a shout for handball. Referee doesn't want to know, and this is Lee Brown now all the way back to Craig McGilvery. What retro shirt Sean was just saying there, Andrew. Can a team with Wigan have the longevity that perhaps Pompey have been used to of dominating the game throughout?
Well, it depends how fit they are, doesn't it, Tom? Obviously, it's an obvious statement to make, but it is about fitness at this, especially at this level, and it's hard work to keep that pace up. We know that. So I don't mind them having a ball in the middle of the park, Tom, and knocking it around and doing their stuff. It does tire you out to chase it, of course, as well. Both teams are working hard out there. Can they keep it up? I doubt it, but let's see. It's been interesting.
It's been more Pompey in the last couple of minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah, we got in the game now, haven't we? And that's a goal kick.
Yeah, it will be a goal kick. Yeah,
we got in the game, started playing some football. We had a good chance there, a couple of good chances there, Tom. Which another day we could be 2-0 up, couldn't we? Because they haven't had any chances, have they? It's not like they're pinging it against the post. Or anything like that,
could you argue that what Jay said, Wigan wanting to impress their new owners, a die-hard relegation battle on the cards for them, and it will be a tough game. And it's looked like if it continues the way the first 12 minutes have gone, it does look like something, that might be along those lines. Sean has said, come on, lads, press the button, ring the bell, we'll score a goal. That'd be great if you could. He is the resident poet. 12 minutes now on the clock, and that one will be a Wigan Athletic throw-in that Tendai Dari Kura will take, the 29-year-old.
He is the resident poet, Tom, but does he know it?
That's very true. Does he know he's a poet?
Does he know it? He's a poet.
Absolutely. That was out of touch. Nicky Cowley drops the iPad and is wanting to give the ball to Callum Johnson as quick as he can to get things going again. This is Michael Jacobs, who just caught the wrong side of Lee Evans there, and it's back with Marcus Harness, who wins it in a decent position. Across goes the ball. It's poor, actually. It is poor. And that one will be Curtis Tilts to win in the middle of the park. Here come Wigan Athletic now. Over halfway. Ben Close is the nearest to the ball at the moment. Funzo Ojo. I believe it's Lee Brown that's knocked it out of play, and that'll be another Wigan Athletic throw-in on that far side. Nearly 13 minutes on the clock now. We're live across the world here on YouTube on Fournilwrittenalloverit. It is now Blackpool 1, Gillingham 1. The Gills have got an equaliser at Bloomfield Road. Confirmation of the goal scorer in just a moment. They haven't done too badly of late, have they? Wigan Athletic in a dangerous position. It's a shot that's deflected. Cameron Lang was the man, and here comes the break, as Andrew's just said. Ryan Williams now is a man in almost his own postcode at the DW Stadium. He's made up a lot of ground in this, just away from the 18-yard box, and that was a ball that ended up, luckily, at a Wigan Athletic set of boots. Doncaster have taken the lead in their game against Bristol Rovers. It's Rovers against Rovers. And the Rovers playing in red this afternoon are the first to get on the score sheet. Hello to Amy, who said, hey, Tom and Andrew, can you wish my daughter Jessica happy birthday for yesterday? She's become a fan of yours and always watches with me. Amy, a massive happy birthday to Jessica. Let us know how old she is today.
Happy birthday.
And Andrew will do his rudimentary joke of saying, when I was that age, I was your age. Yeah. I can't wait to see that.
All right, Amy, Tom, don't spoil it.
Sorry, I've already spoiled it, but we all knew it was.
My cover now.
We knew it was coming. We knew it was. She's 8. Go on.
Amy, what's your daughter called? Put her name.
Jessica.
Jessica. Do you know what? When I was 8, I was your age.
There we go. And what a day to have your birthday as well. Plenty of chocolate for Easter Sunday. Presents galore. I bet it was a fantastic day. Hope you really enjoyed yourself, Jessica. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for being with us too to Amy as well. Sean Raggett now. Sorry to turn the conversation back to him, but there we go. Ben Close now. That's Michael Jacobs, who's been dispossessed on that far side. And it's goals galore in League One at the moment. Accrington Stanley have taken the lead against Oxford United. That game at the Kassam being played after an eventful one at the Stadium of Light on Friday, that the Oxford United boss, James Corden, was sent from the touchline. Lee Brown. Ronan Curtis now.
We're still in 5th place, Tom, I think, even with Blackpool winning.
She absolutely loved that. Lovely to hear it, Amy. I'm glad she had a good day. And again, another goal that's gone in. It's MK Dons 0, Crew 1, the away side there. The Alexandra getting the score sheet, getting on the score sheet first, I should say, inside the opening sort of 15-20 minutes or so in that one. Back here at the DW Stadium, it's still Wigan Athletic with the lion's share of the ball at the moment. It's sort of Pompey's to try and win back at this stage, as 15.5 minutes is the time on the clock now. It's a ball over the top from Luke Robinson, and Jack Watmore's almost second best to that. Luckily, Sean Raggett's there to cover. He hasn't done a convincing job there, and I believe the referee's blown up for some strange reason for a foul on Raggett, Andrew. I don't think he did anything wrong there.
Well, he just pushed him, Tom, I think.
Oh, I don't think there was too much in that one. Sorry, am I in your way?
Yeah, slightly.
No, I need to keep in the centre of the thing. Can you see it? Okay, all right.
Lean forward, I can't.
All right, I won't lean forward. Sorry. It'll be difficult. If we score, if we look like we're about to score, I probably will lean forward. Right, things are back going again. Early scare for Pompey there inside 16 minutes. Sean Raggett almost gifting possession. Luckily, the referee spotted something untoward. I think it's been a bit of a knock of heads, actually. Marcus Harness and... Oh, no, it's on a knock of heads. Bit of a bash between the two, perhaps. We might have been called offside, actually, Marcus Harness.
No, it just went out, Tom, for a throw.
Oh, okay. Jamie Jones, for some reason, shouting in his back four. He's not happy at all. But he's shouting at the referee. But no, maybe not. Not sure who he's shouting at. He's shouting at someone nonetheless. And Benny said Curtis looking a little bit frustrated, and probably rightfully so, Andrew.
Well,
because
he hasn't touched the ball, has he?
I don't think he's not really had a chance to, is he?
Well, no one's giving him the ball, Tom, so he's gonna get angry, isn't he?
Bit of a boring 17 minutes or so from a Pompey point of view. I'll be brutally honest with you. It hasn't been superb. Currently, score remains 0-0 at the DW Stadium. Hope you're all well and hope you had a fantastic Easter weekend. We're rounding things off nicely with a Fournilwrittenalloverit stream.
Oh, shocking ball. We keep making silly mistakes, Tom, giving the ball back to them and
too easily.
Yes, far too easily. These are the sort of things that you'd expect Cowley to be working on.
You'd hope he'd be
Close has
working
done
on.
remarkably well again.
Harness with the knock on, and that one hasn't quite come to fruition for Pompey. And here come Wigan Athletic again. Referees willing to play an advantage for the home side as Tom Naylor is trying to battle the ball off them.
Naylor did well there to get back at him. He done him up a kipper, and then
here they come again.
Naylor
go on.
Naylor he went round Naylor like he wasn't there, and then Naylor chased him down and forced him to make a pass that went a bit awry, Tom. So he's corrected his misdemeanor.
Is what? Sorry.
He's misdemeanor.
It's misdemeanor. There was a question there whether that ball had just tipped out of play already, but the ball forward from the Wigan Athletic player wasn't anything to write home about. And
we've got to start a bit more accurately passing, Tom.
Execution's not great, is it?
Well, the execution's all right. It didn't end up where it's supposed to go, does it?
At the minute, the only team that's looking like they're playing any football is the home side, Andrew, which is a little bit scary to see. That will definitely be a one that the referee will blow up for. He might even call Callum Johnson over, perhaps even put him in the book, because there's been a couple of little grapples from him so far this afternoon. Might just be it's just a quick chat and a be careful next time you'll be in the book, perhaps. As that challenge came in, I believe it might be Viv Solomon Otterball down the near touchline.
He's good at that, Otterball. He falls over quite a lot. I remember when we played for us, Tom. What he does is he's got this little habit of using his left foot. He pushes the ball away from himself and then leans into the oncoming defender.
That set piece came to absolutely nothing, and the ball is now out with Wigan Athletic just halfway inside Pompey territory. Long ball over the top, and Ben Close can't quite see where it went. Doesn't win the second one either. Ball's back with Wigan again. On the spin out to the right-hand side with Callum Lang. Cuts inside. He's got Lee Brown to beat, and then he can probably get his ball in. Doesn't manage to do so, and he looks back to
Michael Jacobs, and that looked a little bit of a painful one, didn't it? Hit him right in the midriff, or might have even caught him a little bit lower. Exciting 20 minutes at Bloomfield Road. It is now Blackpool 2, Gillingham 1. So already 3 goals, and again, it's Jerry Yates who's got on the score sheet for the second time in just 20 minutes. So he's on to a hat trick. Early doors, scored a lot of goals for the Tangerines so far this season. Back here, Funso Ojo is looking to get past Lee Brown. He can't quite do so. That one comes off. Brown actually looked like it came off the Wigan player. But Lino was closest to it, and he signalled for a corner. And that will be what happens as Viv Solomotobor switches sides completely and is trotting over to take the corner from the right-hand side, although he's playing on a sort of a left-wing position this afternoon. He will take his time in order to do so. Crew have doubled their lead at Stadium MKs. Now MK Dons 0, Crew 2, sorry. Ball goes in, play automatic, or straight away almost. Funso Ojo back to Solomon Otterbohr, who's playing on that right-hand side. Ojo gets the ball in, dangerous, and hits a hand in there. Does it, referee? He's not going to give anything, and it's Jamie Proctor's dangerous ball in, and that won't be too dangerous, actually. Eventually, Michael Jacobs will get rid completely. A little bit of another scare there, Andrew. One-way traffic at the minute at the DW Stadium.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing some good stuff, Tom. Give them some credit. Black Wigan, they're playing some half-decent football, aren't they?
Hello to Russ. Welcome to the stream.
One of the better sides I've seen this season, to be fair to them.
Yeah. Oh, it might be a bit of, Tom Naylor's committed a bit of a foul there. It's almost a sort of corner-like position. Thilo Asgard, the 18-year-old Norwegian's gone down. He's scored on 2 occasions and had 1 assist so far this season.
Only not a foul,
only played 26 of the 38 games. Referee was very quick to signal for a foul.
He was
Andrew disagrees.
It's pathetic, Tom. The man's just run straight into Naylor. Naylor's put the tackle in and he's fallen over. They're pretty good at it, to be fair. They're pretty good at falling over, Wigan.
Ref's going to pull Harness back, who's the solemn man in the wall. Hopefully not going to be blocking Craig McGilvery's view of that one. What is blocking his view is the sunlight.
On,
it's a bit ominous, that, isn't it? Here comes the right-footed in-swinger. 22 minutes almost on the clock now, and it hits Harness. And oh, my word, that is the chance of the game that has just
gone wide.
Just gone wide. Curtis Tilt, the 29-year-old Jamaican, with one of the biggest chances he'll have, hopefully, all afternoon. I think it sort of put Pompey off slightly that it came off the stomach of Marcus Harness. He was stood right on the 6-yard line, and luckily, McGilvery was sort of lying on the ground already, anticipating it, and it just trickled wide of his near side post. That was another big scare, Andrew. Here comes the subsequent corner, taken very quickly, and that one, luckily, danger's almost away, and it isn't actually. It's worked its way back out to the right-hand side, almost a rinse and repeat pattern, but again, ball was fired away. Referees blows up for a foul on, I believe it's, not sure who that is on the ground there. It's a foul nonetheless for Pompey. It's it's a dangerous shot, Andrew. From
Tom, we said it earlier. Give them some credit. They're playing some good stuff, Wigan, and if they keep this up, we ain't going to win this 4-0. We've got to step up the pace a bit, haven't we? We've got to start playing football.
I think you might even go as far to say, Andrew, this might be battered away by a lot of Pompey fans. We're lucky not to be 1-0 down at this point.
I think you're right, Tom.
Ronan Curtis now. Not just because of that chance there, but there's
a few chances.
There's been a couple, isn't there? The most clear and obvious ones just come there. A bit of a dodgy header that Ryan Williams will do his best to latch onto there from, I believe it's Curtis Tilt, but he's done
well
to recover that one. Much to Andrew's disappointment. The worst news is we're losing on corners, as William has quite rightly pointed out. Aaron said a minute ago, Andrew, do you think players are knackered since the game was only a few days ago?
No.
And David came back and said it's certainly a quick turnaround. Wigan have had longer to recover, but by your initial reaction, you don't see much in that. This is Viv Solomon-Otterbohr now, who's doing his best to get past Marcus Harness, who's not an out-and-out defender himself, and that one perhaps came off a hand, but it won't matter too much as Michael Jacobs fires one up to Curtis, who again will be frustrated that he can't latch onto it. 24 minutes.
Because the ball's hit
on the
past
clock.
him too far, Tom, isn't it? We've got to start playing the football like we normally play, haven't we? We've got to get the ball off them. They've had it for 25 minutes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, so Oxford United, not unfortunately for Oxford, but they've got a goal back against Accrington. That means that perhaps Oxford United's playoff hopes are still alight. They are just a couple of points off it and might even be closer to it now. They've got a goal back against their team against playing against them at the Kassam, and Craig McGilvery will be perhaps relieved in order to claim the ball with two hands there and get things going once again for Pompey. Opts to roll out to Sean Raggett, who's the nearest man in orange to him. Here we go with Raggett, who's made up some ground now and will cut through the centre of the Wigan midfield and look for Curtis, who again is frustrated that the ball can't quite fall to his feet. Burton have taken the lead in their game at home to Swindon Town. Lee Brown will run over and retrieve a ball, not the same ball that went out of play, another one that's sort of lingering around. Elliot Lee got the goal for Oxford United, and Thomas Hammer is the man who scored for the Albion. This is Jack Watmore now, coming over halfway. Positively looks for Harness, whose first touch is a heavy one, and that one will be easy for Luke Robinson to get away.
Jack's done well.
This is Curtis Tilt, and Jack Watmore has done well. And again, it's a rogue touch from Ronan Curtis, who'll be unhappy that that one hasn't gone his way. And he's, again, looks angry as he can't quite manage to get that one off Tendai Derakura. And here comes the ball again across the field, looking for Viv Solomon Otterborn on this near side. Callum Johnson headers out of play, and that one will be a Wigan Athletic throw-in on this near touchline. This is Luke Robinson, the 19-year-old, who's found George Johnston. Scotsman looks across the pitch to Derakura. This is Funzo Ojo now. Infield, and then back to Derakura. This is George Johnston once again. Wigan Athletic in healthy possession at the DW. It's a long ball over the top, and that one will be a brilliant touch from Funzo Oju. Can he get his ball into the box? He can do, and it's a dangerous one that was on a plate for the Wigan Athletic attackers. Luckily, Sean Raggett was there with a diving header shot from long distance, and that one's not going to trouble Craig McGilvery too much. He was slightly wrong-footed there, wasn't he, the Pompey goalkeeper, but managed to see that one sail over his far post, Andrew, and that one will be a goal kick for Pompey.
Yeah, Tom, I'm just sort
of perplexed. You sound
not perplexed. I'm just obviously they've come out batting, haven't they? They've come out. We're playing like we do normally in the first half. They're playing like we would do in the first half. So we've got to get a grip of the game, though, Tom. And I think Danny Cowley's talking to the players as we speak. I can't obviously hear it, but we can. A lot of gestising there and a lot of talking to them. So I think we've still got it under control at the minute. We're not losing the game, are we? But we've certainly got to get into it.
From a cynical point of view, perhaps we should be.
Yeah. But
here we go. Harness gets a little bit of luck with the ball that falls to his feet. And this could be Curtis to strike. And it's deflected away. And
there's a chance.
A flashing chance in front of goal for the Irishman, who...
We've had two good chances, Tom.
Want to be scoring again this afternoon, won't he? A little bit of news elsewhere at the Stadium of Light. Mr. Hamilton's reporting that Sunderland looking like the team on top against Peterborough United. We'll have, hopefully he can let us know how they're getting on. Are they at Peterborough, at London Road this afternoon? A place where Pompey could have perhaps got back into the game when we played them just a couple of weeks ago. No way through for either side as we approach the half-hour mark at the moment. Wigan Athletic probably... You would have thought, well, you would have said with the lion's share of the opportunities so far in this game. Jack Watmore now is the man with the ball for Pompey. Brings things over halfway. That one will be just slightly out of Ryan Williams' reach. And as he tries to reach back for it, he concedes a foul in the process. Sun has well and truly gone in at the DW Stadium in Greater Manchester this afternoon. Joe has said, hello, Tom. How are you? We're very well, Joe. We'd love to be a couple of goals up by now, my friend. But unfortunately, that's not the case as Lee Brown takes the set piece. Long ball towards the edge of the box and Lee Brown headers away. Michael Jacobs rises for it. Back in Wigan Athletic possession now. Jacobs looking to make amends for giving the ball away just then, and that will be a Wigan Athletic throw-in on the far side. And it's not been, maybe a goal Pompey's way might settle things for them slightly, Andrew, but this has been a subpar performance. Danny Cowley will very much be saying, you would imagine, at half-time.
It'd be interesting to be...
Sorry to cut across you. It's now 3-1 Blackpool, so they're pulling away from it at Bloomfield Road inside half an hour. Go on, sorry.
No, I just think they've caught us unawares a little bit, Tom. He's offside.
He's offside, Curtis.
He's offside, Curtis.
And he can't get his shot on target anyway.
perhaps they're just frustrated by the flag. Hull have taken the lead against Northampton, so as it stands, neither Peterborough nor Sunderland will be top of the league, and Hull City, if they continue in the way they are at the moment, will remain in pole position at the top of League One. Comments saying, are we tactically sitting back and playing on the counter-attack or just playing pants? Interesting one.
We're not playing pants, are we? We don't. It's. I just think there's one or two long mistakes we're making. One or two long balls that we're playing, and it's just not. We just ain't got the rub of the green right now. There's some of those balls that we're putting to Harness is putting in, and Curtis control. We haven't controlled the ball that well, have we? When the ball's being pinged into a player, just not got the rub of the green right now, have we? We're going to look half decent, to be fair to them.
First sort of touch when you're receiving it in attacking position hasn't quite been on the money so far this afternoon. Hopefully that will change as we perhaps grow into the game here at the DW. Maybe Pompey perhaps unpleasantly surprised by the game that Wigan Athletic have brought them.
No, I don't think so, Tom. I don't think that none of these games are easy, are they? Regardless of what position they're in. Wigan obviously fighting for their lives, aren't they? And that's the danger play. That's the dangerous team to play. If you're playing someone mid-table that can't do anything, then it's a little bit easier, isn't it? Like Hull playing Northampton, really. Northampton ain't going to go down, are they? Probably, and they're not.
Callum Johnson now.
If you can't lose that ball,
you can't there, and Jack Moore didn't know where it was either. And this is a shooting opportunity. I believe it was Curtis Tilt who got the shot away. No, it isn't actually. It's a completely different player altogether. What on earth is that number on the back there? Jamie Proctor, 16. I'm not a fan of the black numbers on the shirt. I suppose it's the only colour it really can be, isn't it?
Well, if they put it in a white box, it might be better, mightn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, Jamie Proctor nonetheless, and his shot is high and sails over Craig McGilvery's crossbar.
This is not fun.
No, and Pompey looking to play out from the back is something that I think the Cowleys have brought to the club, and that's what happens when you do that. Harness, Andrew sat forward, ball through to Ryan Williams, and again, it's another example.
Just that touch, isn't it?
That touch at the end there from every attacking player in orange this afternoon. Yeah. Pompey yet to record a shot on target in just inside 31, 32 minutes.
Wigan only had 2 shots, Tom, so not brilliant from both teams, really.
No, Wigan will definitely be more pleased than Pompey are at this stage.
Yeah, they would, for sure.
Here comes the goal kick from Jamie Jones in the Wigan Athletic goal mouth, and it's the header that's won by Callum Johnson initially, and Marcus Harness will be second best to it to Luke Robinson, back from Callum Johnson. It's well done by him, actually, as Harness can capitalise on that bit of brilliance from Johnson and still retains the ball. That one's got to be a foul. A Pompey referee absolutely right there. Danny Cowley and Nicky just saying a few words to a couple of the players on the touchline. And it's Danny Cowley was watching that one with intent, and it's very cool, calm and collected, isn't it? Just a solemn hand raised in the air, not a Joey Barton full-on appeal, very relaxed.
He's telling Jack what to do with it.
Jack Watmore now. Nicky Cowley wants to see the long ball. There it is. weren't expecting anything less, and all that. I think it's Michael Jacobs can sit and wait for it, but this is Ben Close and almost an opportunity to shoot if he had an extra yard or two. Turnover in possession from the home side, and they look to tear Pompey apart on the counter-attack, and it's Viv Solomon Otterboy who's twisting and turning in the centre of midfield. Lee Brown with a vital touch on the ball now, and this one will be Michael Jacobs to win, and that's a challenge in from behind that the referee's definitely going to have a word.
Jacobs needs to be quicker to that, Tom.
He is. He's been brought down though, Andrew.
I know, but he took his time to start getting too close to it. Watch this.
Not happy
with that. He's got to be quicker on it, and he's got to be quicker to it.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't really watching Jacobs. I was watching the Wigan player coming in. I agree with you. Actually, it's
he
sort of bumbled over to it, didn't he?
Trotted over to it rather than get to there quickly.
Well, things are looking a little bit shaky. We were hoping for the first time this season Pompey would make it 4 on the bounce in the league. Doesn't quite look that way at the moment. Wigan not quite oozing with confidence, but definitely displaying a lot more than Pompey. And it's actually Funzo Ojo that's gone in the book for that challenge. I believe it's rightfully so on Michael Jacobs there, as perhaps he's just trying to draw the foul, Andrew, and maybe that's the reason why he's slightly late to it because he knows he's going to get there first. Maybe he's a little bit reading too much into that one, perhaps. And this is here come Wigan Athletic again, and it's Jamie Proctor, and again Jack Watmore with 2 great tackles. Ball still alive for the Latics, though. This is Lee Evans, who's found Funzo Ojo, just recently gone into the book, looks outside of him, but Michael Jacobs is eager to that one, and Lee Brown will fire with his left foot up the pitch. That one's back to a Wigan Athletic shirt.
I keep talking to you about Lee Brown. He just, when he gets an opportunity, just lumps it up the pitch. He doesn't think about where he's putting it. Daniels would think about where that ball's going, and that's his down. That's what I was saying earlier before kickoff.
Swindon Town have equalised against Burton and is now 1-1 at the Pirelli Stadium. Is that a handball from Ben Close? Referee said it was accidental. Play will continue, and Ronan Curtis deeper position than he would have probably wanted to be when he received the ball. It's a nice touchline pass down to Ryan Williams. You can try and get his ball in, but that might be a goal kick. Yeah, it will be a goal kick that the referee signals for. As I was about to say, it might be a corner. Andrew, I think it's time for a dodger or two, don't you?
Score, Tom.
Well, that might provoke the score, perhaps.
You go ahead then.
Do you mind if I have one? You chat to the viewers for a little bit.
You eat your jammy, Tom.
Jack Payne got the goal there. Bit of a conversation happening with the referee. What have you made of the opening 35 in a nutshell, Andrew?
Well, I think they know. They obviously watched us, Tom. They know we're a good footballing outfit. They look like they're a good footballing outfit as well. They're playing football like you like to see. So it's a credit to them for doing that. And I think they could have been 1-0 up, couldn't they? That only chance that went really wide was one that was a bit concerning. We've got back in the last 15, haven't we? We started to play our football, which we can play, of course. We just, again, as I said earlier, we haven't had the rub, have we? We just that final, just that little touch, that a bit unfortunate. Sometimes a little bit of luck goes with it, Tom, where your ball doesn't stick to your foot.
Would I be wrong in saying that it hasn't been the impressive-looking football that we've been used to for 3 games under Danny and Nicky?
I think it has. I just think it's that little touch, the little fine margins, isn't it? That little. That ball into Curtis that didn't quite fall for him a couple of times. But another day it would have done. He's got more space, etc. Ben Close could have struck the ball from just outside the box. He chose not to. He chose to push it wide. For me, little opportunities like that, you've got to take them, especially when you're up against it like this.
Bristol Rovers have equalised at home to Doncaster Rovers. That one's significant from a Pompey point of view.
That goal, which is great because he's now worked out that Wigan just keep falling down.
Ben Close to Ryan Williams now on literally bang on the halfway line. It's again.
This is the point to make it. This is
another dodgy touch. Yeah.
I mean, the ball was pinged at him at some pace. To be fair,
I'm surprised the referee let that one go. Actually, maybe he sort of noticed it and clocked it, perhaps as a one against Tom Naylor's name because it didn't look like the cleanest of challenges. Wigan Athletic will go again in the bright April sunshine. Callum Johnson's going to jump for that one. Shouts a handball in the near touchline from George Byers, who's warming up for Pompey. Tom Naylor's got to be careful not to foul his man there. So
he did foul him.
Big old push from the Pompey captain, but the referee's going to let that go nonetheless. You're already on a warning, Tom Naylor. You've got to be careful. It's a physical game, Andrew, as Callum Johnson's trying to put his foot in, but it'll be a shot from Lee Evans deflected behind, and Craig McGilvery tries to keep that one in. He's done really well to keep it in. Lino's happy. Luke McCormick's got the goal back for Bristol Rovers. I was just saying before we had that little bit of a spell, Andrew. It's 1-1 in Bristol this afternoon in the West Country, and Doncaster Rovers at the minute. They might go on and put them to the sword later on in the game, but it's equal terms. It's equal terms in the Southwest. Good news from a Pompey point of view in the fight for the playoffs. Doncaster very much dropped off at the moment, although they are only a couple of points outside it as we stand. Things might change over the next couple of weeks, and there's another foul that's gone Pompey's way, and Sean Raggett is throwing the ball to his captain Tom Naylor, who will plonk it down just over the halfway line for, I believe it will be Ronan Curtis. Probably won't take it. I would imagine Lee Brown will. 39 minutes on the clock now. Been a rather slow and steady first half from either side. Wigan Athletic, if you're wanting a brief overview, Wigan Athletic with a majority of the chances so far. Pompey just growing into the game and taking a little bit more of a foothold. But you'd argue, Andrew, there's nothing sort of succinct or convincing about their performance this afternoon. And although Jack Watmore's put on an impressive defensive display, there hasn't been a shining light attacking wise from Pompey, have there?
No, and I think, Tom, remember, we haven't got a striker on the pitch. We haven't got a proper number 9, have we? So we're trying to play the ball through a good footballing side. Wigan are. So I think you could argue that they've worked it out that we're a good outfit, and watch them. I think the difference between two teams as well is one or two of their passes have actually got to the players they should have got to. Two of ours haven't, and on top of that, I think.
Jack's just giving it back to Viv Solomon-Otterbourne. He goes in for the challenge, gets absolutely nowhere near the ball. Referee plays on, ball goes into the box. It's one that only Michael Jacobs can watch, and luckily
should have gone for that. Jacobs backed off of that.
Luckily, Callum Lang wasn't close enough to that one.
That's where you get your foot in.
Lee Evans.
That's it.
Ryan Williams does his best to, as Andrew said, get his foot in. 40 minutes now on the clock. Wigan still with the ball.
They're closing us down very quickly. As soon as we get the ball, we're not closing them down as quickly as they're closing us down. I think that's another significant reason that they seem to be on top of it, really. And of course, they need the win, don't they? We need the win, but they need it desperately, don't they? And
Luke Robinson out to the far side. It's a cut inside, and I think he knew that he wasn't going to get anywhere near the ball. And referee, that's going to be a yellow, definitely. It's a late one.
A yellow card for Wigan there.
It's a late one that Luke Robinson will be unhappy with himself about, but it's sort of, from his point of view, he wanted to stop the counter-attack, didn't he? Because it was well and truly on. He had Ronan Curtis was out there, and he only really had George Johnston and the keeper to beat there. So, yeah, it's he's going to call him back and give him a card. It's a free kick just on halfway that Ben Close will plonk down.
Ben Close is taking that 10 yards ahead of where the accident actually happened.
I think it was. It was halfway, wasn't it?
Was it?
I believe so. Sean Baggett's making some really good ground, and his ball out to the wing is not good at all. And Lee Brown is just going to have to sit there and watch as he gets far too far up the pitch. The Pompey left back, and we're wide open now. Viv Solomon-Otterbourne breaking into the box at breakneck speed. He'll have a shot himself that comes off Jack Watmore's knee. Another shot is wide from
nearly on the corner flag
from Lee Evans. And just before the halftime break, Andrew, and it's not been the most exciting spectacle, has it?
No, it's a good game, Tom. It's exciting. What you're saying is we haven't been as good as we are normally. So, but we aren't as bad as we were normally before this.
No, we're not.
We would have been losing this game 3 or 4-0 by now.
Perhaps, yeah. Perhaps. Only as long as sort of 2 or 3 weeks ago, even as well. Exactly. Ryan Williams now.
Yeah, we'll talk about them closing us down. They're winning the second ball all the time. They're doing really well. Really
Harness, here we go. He's got an opportunity down the right-hand side, gets the dead ball line, cuts his ball back across, and Ryan Williams strikes, and the
great save.
Keeper got down quickly, and that was a really, really good save from Jamie Jones, who was alert to it.
Again in the bottom corner.
That was sneaking in.
Good chance, Tom. Great. Look at the ball back from Harness. How wake is he?
Yeah, that's what we've been missing, isn't it? What we've been missing.
Strike from Harness.
Really good strike from Williams, yeah.
Williams, good ball from Harness, good strike from Williams.
Subsequent corner will be taken. It's not a corner, sorry. Best chance of the game, perhaps, Andrew, there.
I think so, Tom. Yeah.
Callum Johnson throw in to the feet of Ronan Curtis, who gets it through Solomon-Otterbourne's legs, and that'll be a corner, that one. Hull have doubled their lead against Northampton. Looks like they will be retaining their position at the top of the League One pile. Callum Johnson looking for options. Harness is there. So is the Pompey captain, Tom Naylor. It will be Harness, and that is really poor from him. Really poor. The touchback, he's always smiling about it, Harness. The touchback was well over Callum Johnson's head, and it's just a gift for Wigan Athletic and Luke Robinson, who will be counting their blessings that one didn't go in, Andrew, just on the shy of half-time. And Shauna said, the power of the Dodgers. So there we go. I got him out at the right time. Keane Lewis-Potter's the man who's doubled the Tigers' lead at the KCOM Stadium against Northampton Town. You would have thought that one might be quite a few this afternoon in Hull City's favour. I believe it's Tom Naylor who rose the highest, and Ronan Curtis will get things going again. Inside to Ryan Williams. Now on the outside to Callum Johnson, who's got Viv Solomon-Otterbourne approaching. Does well to deflect any approaching challenge. Williams caught by...
Ref saying play on.
Ref saying play on. Michael Jacobs' ball goes in, and that one will be a corner. And Wigan sort of panicking at the back there slightly. Pompey putting the pressure on at the late stage of the first half, and it'd be nice to go in a goal up, Andrew, just before the whistle goes for the break.
It's Michael Jacobs who's running over to plonk it down inside the corner area as we approach 45 minutes of regulation time. Plus, we wouldn't have thought too much will be added on at the end of this one because it's been all action, hasn't it? All
minute and a half.
Yeah, not too much in terms of stoppages or subs or anything like that. And it's not quite beat the first man. Still a bit of danger for Wigan Athletic to deal with nonetheless. And Callum Johnson's got to be careful watching that one back to Lee Brown because I believe it was Otterball was approaching at some speed and Williams will try and latch on to that ball over the top and Ben Close has got it in possession now. Andrew leans forward as Harness finds Williams on the edge of the box on this right-hand side. Ball goes in. Dangerous one from, and it was Ben Close actually who's the nearest to putting it in the back of Jamie Jones's neck. Another chance goes amiss from Pompey and there will be 1 minute added on at the end of this first half. So as I said, not too much time to be added on. Lee reckons it's a 50-50 game and Cannon might be coming on at half-time is the suggestion, Andrew.
I don't know why Cannon would come on at half-time, Toms. I think I would, at the moment,
keep it as
it is. I don't think we need to disrupt it too much. If Cannon comes on, it's going to be a straight swap for Ben Close, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Really?
Perhaps. Yeah, I would have thought so, yeah. Another comment from Kieran saying get Cannon on. So maybe he's a bit more of a...
He's a bit more of an aggressive player. Maybe he's a bit harder than Closey, perhaps.
Do you reckon it's one too many Easter eggs yesterday, perhaps? Although the team did travel yesterday, so maybe there isn't so much truth in that. Oddly, iFollow's telling us it's 2 minutes. I believe it will only be 1 minute. 1 minute, sorry. 1 minute. 1 minute.
That's it, isn't it?
And the referee has blown his halftime whistle. And
I think it's a 50-50 game, Tom. At the moment, it's a 50-50. And I think we'll probably go on to score 4 in the second half.
Okay, thank you for the moment, Andrew. We'll come back to you in just a moment or two. Richard and Aaron have jumped back at the halftime whistle. Gents, you're not looking as elated with the first half performances we've been used to. Lacked a little bit of composure at the when it really matters, Richard, in that first 45.
Oh, it did, didn't it? I say I'm very tired from 3 days worth of trail running, but God, I say any more of that, I'd have been falling asleep. I thought it was very poor. I think I don't know what is doing up front because he had a perfect opportunity and then literally stopped the stride ahead of being able to put it in the goal. And then for the shot that just took place, was it Ben Close? Was it on the edge of the box? He just stood frozen. He doesn't seem alert, attentive to watch it, to look at the rebound, and I don't know, it's just something lacking, isn't there? It feels like the pitch is so wide and then Pompey are always searching to find a player to pass to, is where whenever Wigan go up forward, all they have to do is turn around and there's players there. There's plenty of choice for them to pass to, is where we don't seem to have that at the moment. And like when somebody mentioned then about Cannon coming on, would he spark something? I don't know, because I think we need a spark, definitely.
Anything to be concerned about from your point of view, Aaron?
Just we need to score. That's it. We need to score. We're letting Wigan play how we're playing, how we were playing. There could be we could be a bit more tired than we actually realised. But this is the issue we have for playing the lower league teams, because Wigan only need to score and get 3 points net out of the relegation. So they know what they need to do. They have to score. But I think we're going to be too strong for them in the second half. I think we're going to see a bit of magic come to Pompey players, especially at half-time. Crowley's going to be sitting there and going, look, what's going on? This is what I want you to do. I want you to run into these gaps here, close it down like they're closing us down. So I can see them, Wigan, getting tired with this, because we haven't stepped into second gear yet, and we need to actually step it up. But I can actually see
that they seem fatigued now, don't they?
Yeah.
Even in the first half, they seem fatigued because we're already bringing in the ball, which is travelling 20 yards for clearance, from the back. We're not looking for that player. It might have looked a bit straight, with the eye follow with the sunshine and the split. By the time it sort of coloured itself back in, or blended back in, and it seemed to sort of throw the match a little bit. But I don't know. It's just they seem tired. Yesterday, they played Friday. Wigan didn't. So it's. I'd like to think, there'll be some sparkle in the second half, and I think there will be some magic that'll come from it. But I think, you know, if we were to get the win, I think we'll only be looking at, well, we only need a 1-0 win, don't we? We just need the 3 points to continue the march forward.
Well, it would be good if we had a 2-goal difference, because as Blackpool have scored 3, I think we're actually on the same goal difference now. I'm not 100% sure. I think we're on the same goal difference. So if we can get another couple, then we'll actually go above Blackpool. But we just need to actually get these goals in. But then we're going to see how the Crowleys are for their management skills now, and see how they can actually get our team playing how we were the last couple of games.
It's interesting, actually, that, you know, it might even come to a situation. I know that might still seem like a lifetime away for some people, but at the end of the season, and sort of the situation would be that those goals might make all the difference in terms of stealing that second automatic space, or being left back in the playoffs, or even in our worst case scenario, perhaps even a difference between League One football and the playoffs. I mean, we don't know how the season's going to do we? Gentlemen, can I take a score prediction from Richard to start off with of how you see the second half going? 1 goal would do it, as you quite rightly said, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd go 1-0 Wigan.
Oh, God.
Yeah, at the moment, at the moment.
Oh, there's some quite shocked faces in the studio down below us, Richard.
It's a good job he lives in Shropshire.
Aaron, are you more confident?
Second half, I say around about 57th minute, we're going to score and we're going to win 2-0.
There we go. And we can
listen to him, Mr. Perfect.
He's been drinking that fish water. we can all celebrate with a jammy dodger or two. Gentlemen, thank you for the moment. Hopefully, we'll be discussing 3 points Pompey's way at the full-time whistle.
No worries. Speak to you in a bit.
There we go. That's Richard and Aaron, ever confident. Sean and Alex are next up before we go to Brendan and Gaz. Gentlemen, good afternoon. There.
Fantastic.
Alex, coming to you first, mate. Welcome along. Thanks for rushing back to join us.
No worries.
And all that kind of thing.
Can I just say to him, it does remind me of how those shirts were always 3 sizes too big. This one's my old man. That for some reason back in the day, you used to just buy extra large rather than sizes that actually fit you. So that's why we've got a parachute on today. And what's Sean's excuse?
I was bigger when I was younger.
I don't know if you've been watching it, Alex, but you know, Pompey not a goal up yet, and perhaps haven't really looked like the team to go a goal up. I don't know what you've made of the first 45.
Yeah, there's not been much to really discuss, as there wasn't really a shot until about 35 minutes, and then the Blackpool shot wasn't really the Wigan shot. Sorry, wasn't really a shot. But we had a couple of chances with if Curtis had a bit of an extra yard of pace, he might have scored in the first 5 or so. But alas, he's not the quickest winger we've got. And obviously Williams had that half chance, and I would probably only call it a half chance. But he's just feeling the game. I think that we're no need to be worried too much at the moment. If we had Jacket, I'd be saying we lose this, but I think we can go through and still get the 3 points there.
Is that the difference, Sean? The sort of the confidence that you have that the Cowleys will pull that longevity from somewhere out of the Pompey boys that maybe their predecessor might not have been able to.
Yeah, you get the feeling that obviously the Cowleys are analysing and watching the game. They're looking for the gaps. They're looking for where we can exploit them, and they'll implement those changes. Whereas with Jacket, you didn't have that confidence. So I think I'm still confident. I think credit where credit's due for Wigan. They came out in the first half. They played us our own game, and I think they closed down our midfield quite a lot. So you weren't seeing the close and the nailer getting forward and the passes. And I think as the half went on, I think they came into the game a bit more, and you started seeing the balls going into the box. And I think the second half will continue. I think Wigan are tiring. We're tired as well, but I think they'll tire and we'll stamp our authority. So I'm still thinking a good win.
Just to sort of play on Matty, who's dampening Andrew's spirits perhaps here with the mathematics here, but automatics would now require an 8-point swing in 8 or 9 games. In reality, meaning Peterborough need to lose half of their remaining games, and we need to win from 6 from 8. Let's get back to reality, chaps. Alex, despite the ounce of pessimism that I can see in what Matty's saying, there's a little bit of truth in that, isn't there?
There's a little bit of truth, but I mean, I don't think we'll make automatics, but I'll make Andrew a bit happier with my reply. But I think Peterborough, Peterborough could easily lose half their games. They're not really, they're not rampant on form at the moment. I know they won 7-0 like the other week, but that really was paper over the cracks in the sense that they really haven't been on a good run of form at all. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them drop off a little bit. They're not sure. They don't really know this situation that well. They're the team that you'd look at and think you haven't really done this. You might not, you might crumble. But yeah, who knows? I mean, obviously it will be interesting to see what the final result is with them and Sunderland today. Obviously, a draw seems like the right result for us, but equally, a draw is probably the only result which keeps one of the two spots still up to play for, I think, because otherwise, whoever wins that should really pull away. But yeah, it's tough, and I don't think we'll make the automatics, but it's not over till it's mathematically over, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, I believe you've been keeping an eye on the situation in the Peterborough Sunderland game. Is there anything you can really tell us from their first 45?
Just that Sunderland seem to be on top with possession-wise. They've had more chances. I think they had 3 shots on goal compared to Peterborough's 1, and they seem to be dominating possession. And seem more likely to score, but it could change in the second half. But Sunderland are a hard team, and I think they've got the spring in the step at the minute. I think they've won like the last 6 games in the trot since they beat us 2-0.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the second half, Sean, what do you hope at this moment in time, having seen what's been in front of you for the first 45? What can Pompey realistically expect to get out from this afternoon?
I think we'll see us going up a gear. I think the Cowleys will implement that at half time, and I think they won't make any changes. They'll set the gears up, and then as we tire towards the end of the game, then they'll start bringing the changes. But I think we'll come out still 3, maybe even 4-0.
Oh, there we go. Alex, it's interesting to see, isn't it? It's probably going to be a sort of reverse performance from what we've seen. We've come out the blocks fighting in the first half for 3 games of the Cowleys. And how confident are you that it might be the other way around and we really put on a second half performance to remember?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that we're probably all thinking the same. They're going into the dressing room this time. And it's the first time really that, other than maybe Ipswich, which was obviously, less than about 24 hours in charge, it's the first time really the Cowleys are going to be able to say to them at half time, we need to up it a little bit here. Because the other, 2 games after Ipswich, which I kind of have written off as obviously, we won that game, but it wasn't really enough time for them to settle in. I think that this is probably the first time they're going to be looking at it and thinking, we've got to find a way to score now, and we've got to find a way to motivate the lads. I mean, we know it's been, 2 days or 1 day rest, and that's not enough rest really. And Wigan have obviously had a bit of a week off, and I understand, it's a lot of their academy players and all that type of thing. But it's not to say that our boys aren't a bit tired. Who would you guys think is going to make the difference off the bench?
There were calls for Cannon to come on, weren't there? But I would have thought that would probably be a like for like swap for a player that is sort of, I wouldn't really take anyone off at the moment. Would you, Sean?
No, I wouldn't change it. I don't think we've got any stronger options on the bench. I think once they get tired in midfield, then you look at Cannon and Close and Harvey and Naylor. But other than that, I think in the meantime, just keep it where it is. You may, even if Close is not doing it, you may actually bring on Harvey White and stick on Williams up front, something like that, just freshen up a bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be rude to anyone that suggested that we need halftime changes, but there is a bit of a tendency, isn't there, from Pompey fans? If we're not a couple of goals up at halftime, automatically we need those changes to come on, and perhaps that may be not the way that the game would want to go. Sean reckons 3, maybe 4, with his confident hat on. Alex, how do you see this one going?
I'll be confident, maybe a little bit more assured, and I'll say 2-1 again, because we'll go 2-0 up like Aaron says, and then we'll concede, because that's what we always do, especially in the last 3. So we'll go 2-1.
I'll say it now. If we end up winning 2-1, we will change the name for a week to 2-1 written all over it for the next 2 streams. Gentlemen, thank you for the moment. We'll speak to you both at the full-time whistle. Hopefully they're going to be correct with their score predictions. Let's speak to Brendan and Gaz. And Mike's here as well. What a treat. Good afternoon to you, sir. Have you been watching the first period?
Me, yes, I got home just after the first 5 minutes, so I've watched that, nipped upstairs, got changed and straight back down here. But yeah, it's not the same game as the last 2, is it, by any shape or form?
Anything concerning for you?
Yeah, well, it feels like a bit like a jacket game actually, but I didn't want to say that. But yeah, what there's things that need to happen. I don't think Willow actually plays the man more than he does the ball sometimes, and looks for the free kick rather than the rest of it. You know, rather than playing for the easy ball, it would have been to Curtis and away, instead of looking for that foul just on half time. There's more to add by it, and I appreciate the game starting very shortly. So, I'll come back with some more later, and especially my memorable moment.
Gaz, just very quickly, mate. Sorry, Brendan, just give us your brief overview on what you've seen in front of you for the first 45.
Yeah, it's not great. I think there's a few players that haven't been the greatest. I don't want to call players out, but I'm going to. Lee Brown hasn't been very good at all. He's not staying tight to his winger. He's let him drift away quite a lot. Raggett isn't being particularly amazing. He's been a bit clumsy in places, but I think an offside saved him. And Harness has been a little bit weak than he has been the last couple of weeks. But I think the second half, some changes will freshen the team up a bit.
Gaz, from your view in Malta, what went wrong in that first period for Pompey not to be a goal up?
Well, I think we gave them a bit too much time on the ball, if I'm honest. They had quite a lot of possession, so and obviously that's going to make us work harder for the ball. So, yeah, we looked a little bit tired. But this is where the management's going to come in now, because we're going to need, that voice in the dressing room, for the second half. So, we've definitely got the ability to go ahead and win, but it's a case of now how they're going to, adapt and do it.
And where do you see the second half going, Gaz? What would be a decent scoreline outcome for you?
I mean, I'd take a sneaky 1-0, but it's got 2-1 written all over it.
And again, I think we might have to, if that is the case, we might have to rethink the name completely, gentlemen. Just quickly, Mike, I don't know what's happening, but our stream hasn't started back up yet. I don't know if it has for you guys over there. No, you're not done yet already. Okay, that's all right then. I was panicking, so I thought we couldn't see the game and it was happening. There's consensus in Richard saying that it did seem like a he who must not be named type game in the first half. That will definitely be something that you would have thought Danny and Nicky will be ranting and raving about in the changing room at half time.
Yeah, somebody's already mentioned that they're tired. Of course they're tired. There's a new trainer regime come in. They're playing. I expect the training grounds are quite a bit harder, certainly different than what Jacket was doing, because they've already alluded to that. But I think they are tired. But it just looked like that we were playing for the old manager, or playing the style of the old manager, which I think that's why the Cowleys dropped his iPad and he threw that on the floor or dropped it, whatever, and various other things. Lots of shouting going on. I appreciate they're getting the lads on the side of the pitch to actually support the team, because we can't be there to do it for us. But I think this second half needs to be a lot better. Otherwise, we don't feel as though we've gone forward very much. Last two games don't feel as though we have this time.
Yeah, and hopefully we can make amends to that in the second period. Brendan, just quickly, the teams I believe are coming back out, but the iFollow are still showing the stats for some strange reason, so I don't quite know what's going on there. But where do you see this one going in the second half, given what you've seen in the first?
Well, if it stays the same, I think it's going to be a poor draw, 0-0. But we need to shake it up. I think we need to bring a couple of subs on. I think maybe any three of Cannon, Byers, or even White, any of them, and give it a bit of a shake up and make players fight for their position will be a bit more of a spring in their step.
Yeah, give it 10 minutes. Give it 10 minutes maximum, and then change if nothing really looks any better. Get Byers, White, and maybe Cannon. All three of them on. Why not? Let's go for it.
Let's have some of it. Thank you, gents. Speak to you at full time. Enjoy the second half.
That
was Brendan and Mike and Gaz as well, who joins us all the way from Malta. Bring Andrew back into the fold as well. You've had a chance to sort of sit there and digest what you've seen, and perhaps have a look at some of the statistics and the league table as it stands. I would have thought you'd be doing, Andrew. What's the situation from where you sit on what we can expect to see in the second period? And there we go. We're back now. Wonderful.
I think we can, Tom, let's give them a little bit of credit. They play some good football. They're passing the ball around quickly like we do. Maybe we underestimate them a little bit. I don't think the Cowleys would do that. They've done their homework on them, obviously. It's one of those games that second half is going to be all us. I think he's going to have a little talk to them in the changing room at half time.
I'm sure he will do.
And I think he might actually might put Cannon on for just a bit more physical midfield. I think because Ben's a great little player, but
I can confirm actually there has been a switch ahead of the second half. Andy Cannon has come on for Michael Jacobs.
Well, that's not a bad shout.
So
because Jacobs for me was a bit
he wasn't having his best game in a Pompey shirt, was he? I have to say. Well, we are now almost back underway at the DW Stadium. Ronan Curtis is the man who's going to be taking kickoff. It's interesting to see, Andrew, that a Pompey substitution has come on the half-time whistle. Perhaps the Cowley saw that something did need to change, and there is Andy Cannon coming onto the screen.
Just continue what I was saying. I don't think also we had a couple of really good chances where we had a good shot on goal. They didn't, in truth, but we had a couple of good chances where we could have been 1 or 2-0 up by the break. They've played a lot of football, but they haven't really threatened us. We haven't been on edge of the seat or crikey, that's a great save and all that sort of stuff. So
there was one, wasn't there?
Yeah,
there was one that Craig got down to.
Not too much to panic about, is it? But if we'd taken those 2 chances and we'd gone in half time 2-0, what would the general consensus of opinion been? It would have been a bit happier, but it would have still been the same performance.
Back underway at the DW Stadium. Oh, Ryan Williams has been knocked over, and Andy Cannon will latch on to that one, charging forward. Cannon first couple of touches on the ball, striking it in. 1-0.
Come on, Andy Cannon.
Oh,
you are an angel.
What a time to bring Andy Cannon on. Richard is buzzing,
and Richard and Oswestry is not 1-0 to Wigan.
No, it's not. It isn't. It isn't. But what it is 1-0 Pompey, and Andy Cannon, the definition of a super sub. Bring him on. Probably 4th touch on the ball, and it's 1-0 Pompey.
No, it's his first touch of the ball.
Well, no, that's his second, third,
4th.
Yeah,
bang.
4th. Back of the net. Is that an omen?
Could
it be 4?
What a goal that is.
It's a strike and a half from Andy Cannon. Keeper got a hand to it. Jamie Jones.
Can we see any faces there, Tom? Can we go to any faces down the bottom?
We've only got one camera, unfortunately, at the DW. It's a one-camera operation.
These ones down there.
Oh, we've got Sean's face. There you go. He's happy.
What about Richard? Let's see if Richard's seeing it as 1-0 which
way. We saw him a moment ago. He was very happy with going 1-0 up. But there you go. It's
bang.
There we go. Boom. Let's keep hold of that, and let's keep. Oh no! Hold the front page. Hold the back page. Don't forget to say that, Anthony. Pompey are a goal ahead. You are not dreaming, ladies and gents. Andy Cannon is back on the score sheet, back in the side, and the definition, as I said, of a super sub. Not much more to tell you other than that it was an emphatic strike from Andrew's man. Adam, what a time to join the stream, mate. Thanks for joining us. Even the linesman loves it. He does, mate. He does. And probably, Andrew, one of the best goals we've seen from a Pompey player in a
great player.
Little while.
3 or 4 touches. Whop.
Whop is a.
Like that? Whop.
Yeah, I'd like the whop. Welcome to Tony.
Oh, hello, Tom.
I think he got. No, we're all right, Andrew. This comes to absolutely nothing, as you can see. Tony got a little bit excited and might have inadvertently pressed the member button in the melee of that goal. But Tony, welcome nonetheless.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Tony. Welcome. You should have just pushed it anyway, mate.
Joining team. Good morning, Andrew. Lovely to have you on board. And what a time to be joining us as well. It's 1-0 Pompey. There we go. In literally one of the best times to score, straight after the halftime whistle. Almost the first opportunity Pompey had to go forward, and it came Andy Cannon with the ball at his feet. There's no other alternative for him than a goal in the top right-hand corner of Jamie Jones's net, as Craig McGilvery's.
What was Naylor doing there?
Bit of a miscommunication is what you'd call that, isn't it, from Tom Naylor and Craig McGilvery in goal. There we go. What a hit and what an impact, says Brendan automatically. 45 seconds into the second half since coming on. The magic wand of Danny Cowley, Andrew.
Yes, Jack Green. That is a good statement.
Great
Magic
statement.
wand. Let's just hope that this is the magic wand of McGilvery to collect this from the.
He's all right. Hang on. You're all right.
No, I'm just saying. Ragged rose like a salmon.
He so often does. He rose like a salmon, and that's a header, and Craig McGilvery will easily claim that one.
And it is 1-0 Pompey here at the DW Stadium. Hopefully we can go on and put them to the sword now.
We can we get it makes it easier when you're 1-0 up, doesn't it?
But this one's for you, Andrew. Logan's just got in. Can you describe it a bit? It was probably the best goal Pompey have scored since Christmas, I would have thought, Logan.
It felt like Christmas, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was just a simple
from the centre of midfield, really. Andy Cannon, yes.
Centre of midfield just ran forward with it,
glided through
straight down the middle. The players stood off him. To be fair, the defender stood off him. The midfield stood off him. He didn't even go around the player, did he?
I'm having some of this was probably what was going through his mind.
He's probably thinking, I'm going to show Mr. Cowley if he puts me on the pitch what I can do with it.
Yeah, pinpointed, picked out his spot. Andy Cannon set himself and fired one emphatically into the roof of Jamie Jones's net and beat him. Keeper got a hand to it, helped it into the goal, and 1-0 Pompey.
There's that ball, that ball from Brown again. That was just wayward.
Mike was saying at half time that, sorry, not Mike, it was Brendan, wasn't it, that mentioned that Lee Brown was a yard or two off the pace. And you wonder
I think so, Tom. He has been a bit, for me, look, he lets that go past him.
Yeah,
look.
Callum Lang's in the box here. It's a poor. I think there's a shout in there I think there might be. It's clumsy from Sean Raggett.
Even at Raggett standards, he's not.
I'm not sure, Andrew. I'd like to see that again. I think they got a case to make their Wigan Athletic.
Well, they didn't, Tom, and they didn't give it. So that's the end of that. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Andrew.
I've never seen a penalty against us that was actually a penalty ever in my life.
Well, there's a very good reason for that. Not on, and again, Craig McGilvery just calmly watches that one drop into his hands. Let's have a look at that that penalty shout again, please. I follow. It'd be nice.
If you can. Bother, Tom. Nothing like it.
Well,
they wouldn't waste their time, mate. There's nothing in it.
Okay. Well, to be fair, you're quite right in saying that because they haven't shown us yet. Shrewsbury Town, Plymouth has scored an own goal at Shrewsbury Town. It means that the Shrews go a goal up. Will Aimson is the man who's prodded it into the back of his own net.
I bet Jessica's happy. On her birthday.
With a 1-0 win. 1-0 lead so far.
Yeah, 1-0
could it be more? Ronan Curtis still looking a little bit frustrated.
We did say we're going to get 4 second half, didn't we?
We did. And Sean might turn out to be quite right in saying that it could be 3 or 4 in the second period for Pompey. This is Callum Johnson now doing his best to work his way down the right-hand side. He's done really well there and managed to win a throw-in a decent position off the back of it. Yes, she is happy. She wants another 3.
Well done, Amy.
Don't think Tom saw it. Rose like a salmon, flopped like a flounder, Raggett. From Meaty. Not quite got the reception that he was wanting from Andrew there.
No, I don't listen to Meaty. He's
oh,
he's a legend, but sometimes he's a legend in his own lunchbox.
There we go, and just a message in from Sean who said would still pick Daniels over Brown any day, and I think
I'm never going to forgive Meaty for kissing me at Wigan at Notts County.
Oh right,
yeah,
there we go. But I completely agree with what Sean's saying there. I think you'd still have.
It's weird, isn't it, when you play away games and you get excited about when MK Don's away 6K to MK when Connor Chaplin scored in the last minute, made it 2-1. And
I tell you what, it's only a couple of weeks until we play them, so we'll definitely be reliving that moment at the start of the stream. So don't be late for that one, boys and girls, because that was. Or moment. If you want to, you can go back and watch it. It's on the channel. Under, I think it was 6K to MK.
Yeah, great day out that one.
Oh, she liked it at the time. That one's it. The spot, Meaty.
Meaty. I was pretending to be happily married at the time, and now I am.
There you go. Thanks for that. Here is Callum Lang. Oh, it's a twist and a turn, and he still retains the possession. Wigan Athletic mounting the pressure. Pompey shouldn't be on their high horse too much, and need to look at things defensively and make sure we're watertight as it's a strike, and oh my word, just slightly wide there, and the referee's called the corner, and it's actually come off Lee Brown, who
again is proving that he's not having the best of games in a Pompey
Well,
shirt.
to be fair, he did go wide because it came off him, so that's something, Tom. Let's not kill him, Tom. He's not a bad player. I just think he's had an off day, and I would have Charlie Daniels in there for him.
As the retro shirt Sean quite rightly said, you'd probably swap him out for Charlie Daniels. A bit late in the day to do so. 55 minutes has been played now. Would you still make that substitution, Andrew, if it came to it? Oh, that's one that's been absolutely fired towards the net.
I would still make that change. Well, we're now 55. I think I'd give Charlie Daniels 30 minutes. I think at least.
Okay. Even at this stage,
I think so. Yeah, I just think it's Lee Brown's a bit older as well, isn't he? At this pace he's been at all the way through this first half, and now he's into 10 minutes into the second half. He could get a little bit more tired than perhaps.
55 minutes on the clock now. It's initially the Latics that win the Craig McGilvery goal kick, and this is Callum Lang who's laid it off to his colleague down here. Ryan Williams is doing his best to get it off Funzo Ojo, who's actually got really nowhere to go, and eventually
gone through 3 players and still got the ball.
He's still got the ball, and I was going to say eventually he might lose it here, but he hasn't done so.
Mr. Close has got to get into him now. Close him down. Go on, that's it. Stick your boot in. Well done.
Darakura now.
Stay with him.
Ben Close does need to stay with him. He's got quite a lot of space, and Richard was mentioning how wide the stadium at the DW is, and this is Funzo Oja is running on the outside.
Brown's done really well there.
There you go. Perhaps doesn't merit a substitution, Andrew. He's going to play on. It's a late, frustrated one from Curtis. He's not going to do that now as Tom Naylor's gone down, holding his.
Curtis has got to behave himself.
He has. He
get himself sent off for stuff like that.
He's quite a yappy little so-and-so, isn't he, sometimes, Curtis? Loves a little dig.
I like a bit of passion, Tom. I like a player that's got some fire in his belly, but I don't like players that...
Unnecessary, wasn't it?
I don't like players that cheat, whether they're our side or their side. Don't like it. And I think that kicking somebody as they're running away from you is cheating, isn't it?
Yes. Perhaps that begs the question, white on for Curtis, Andrew. I don't know how you feel about that one.
No.
We'll come back to that in just a moment as the free kick's been taken and Ben Close can do nothing but concede a corner for Wigan Athletic. I believe it will be Tande Darika, the 29-year-old, trotting over. No, it's not. It is Lee Evans, not to be confused with the popular comedian who is going to take this one.
He's annoying, that Lee Evans.
What, the player or the comedian?
The player.
Oh, right. What about the comedian?
I like him.
Oh, okay. There we go. Thanks for that. Unfortunately, that's the only correlation we can make between a name and a famous face now. Usually they're a little bit of better quality, but Lee Evans is all we've got to work with today. Oh, strike. And it's... Sorry, I haven't described that very well because the ball's still alive here. Lee Evans with an opportunity to get it back in. And as Richard was quite rightly saying, didn't describe it in the most technical of manners, but it's just that. I'm trying to think of the word. It's a bit of a pull focus on when the sun's difficult to. I don't know what it is.
We're just overhitting the ball a little bit, Tom. Whereas normally we would put the ball to feet. We're just overhitting it a little bit. A lot of players are doing it. You saw that. I think it might have been Brown or knocking it onto Curtis or Williams. Someone knocked it onto him. Then it was just watch this.
Well, don't watch it. Don't go quiet.
But the point is, then there was nobody attacking that player. Then he just had a free header.
Not looking particularly watertight, are we, Pompey? Unfortunately, Andy Cannon is receiving a little bit of treatment as there is a bit of a stoppage just shy of the hour mark here at the DW Stadium. Thank you to everyone who's stuck with us and remains with us here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. If you haven't yet liked the stream, please make sure you do so. We're live all evening. Oh, sorry, we won't be live all evening. Don't worry, we'll be live all afternoon until 5:30 this evening. Harvey White is being readied to come on, ladies and gentlemen. I can confirm. He will be making his way onto the pitch, much to Mr. Poirier's delight, I would imagine.
But what's going to happen then?
Conversations happening left, right and centre. Danny Cowley is getting involved as well. Blackpool are now 4-1 up against Gillingham. So they got back into it, Gillingham. But unfortunately for them, Blackpool are taking us to the sword. I'll be really upset if Andy Cannon's going to come off here. I don't think he will do. He looks all right to continue. I think it's
It's an injury to his arm or hand that he might be struggling with. Luckily, they are not necessary requirements if you're playing a game of football. So there we go. Referee's got the ball in his hand. Awaiting confirmation of who Harvey White will be replacing, whether he's coming on at the moment or not. If we're going to be seeing the youth product from Tottenham make his way into the pitch now. No, we're not. He's not quite ready to make that change yet. Elliot Embleton has got the goal for Blackpool, and play is back underway here at the DW. Andy Cannon's back on the pitch, quickly getting things going. This is Curtis Tilt now, the Jamaican's trying to work his way away from the Australian. It's a bit of handbags, Andrew, between Andy Cannon and Curtis Tilt. Nothing too much to come of that. It just got together a little bit, and discussions coming in from the fourth official. Danny Cowley's getting involved there on the near touchline. Curtis is saying a few words. I think Danny Cowley's told Curtis to back off a little bit there. Conversation happening between the Pompey captain Tom Naylor. Andy Cannon's going to want a discussion. The referee's going to want a discussion with Andy Cannon and Curtis Tilt. Work out what exactly went wrong there. Still discussion ongoing, and referee saying we're on 60 minutes. Looking at his watch, is there what I can deduce from what he's saying?
You'll be both off the pitch if you don't behave
Well,
yourself.
perhaps that's what's been said. Referee's not going to brandish any cards on this occasion. Just see if Andy Cannon had anything to sort of be upset about, perhaps. It was mainly him was the guilty party there, actually, Andy. Not sure. Not too much in it there.
You might have said something. Tom.
Nicky Cowley was in there quite quickly.
I think the Jamaican guy said something to him. That's what's upset him.
It's Ben Close who's being withdrawn from proceedings this afternoon, Andrew, in place of Harvey White.
To be fair, Ben Close hasn't done too much this afternoon.
Liam Richardson's having a chat with the referee for the time being. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. He's always been quite a vocal man, Liam Richardson.
As it stands, Tom, we've got up to 4th place.
Oh, good news. Very good news from a Pompey point of view. And will Harvey White do what Andy Cannon did and only take 36 seconds to get a goal on the board for Pompey? Impressive, actually, Andrew. 36 seconds. Pompey never score an early goal, really, did they? And the last time we did was...
It's the cannonball, mate.
It is the cannonball. Here he comes now. The cannonball himself. He's got his friend Marcus Harness out on the right-hand side to look for when he finds him. Ball goes in, flashing ball. And if anyone had been there to stab it in, Andrew, that would have been a doubling of Pompey's lead and perhaps 2 goals to the good.
Excuse me, Tom.
Bless you.
Merci bien.
You're very welcome. 61 minutes on the clock now. Harvey White's on the pitch, and I think he's already lost out to Andy Cannon in terms of who can score first at the DW after coming on as a substitute. Throw in now on this near touchline. That's Tendai Darekura. Ball goes up the pitch.
Easy for you to say.
It is. Sean Raggett's the nearest to it, and Cannon will take it down with relative ease. He's been brought back there, Andy Cannon.
Yes.
Lee Evans is irritating you even more now, Andrew.
He's irritating me, Tom.
I can see it in your eyes. You don't look best pleased.
Lee pitch and slap that Lee Evans.
Lee Brown's the man standing over this one. Almost halfway through the second half, Harvey White wants it to his feet. It's going to be sent long by Lee Brown, and oh no, the light's gone off. I'll sort that out in a minute. I don't think we're too bad, actually.
No, it's fine.
You can leave it like that, can't we? Oh, Curtis just having a little hug with Jamie Jones for some strange reason.
It's like me and Meaty, isn't it?
Yeah,
at Notts County.
I might just quickly turn this one on, Andrew. Keep everyone entertained while I try and find the thing. Sorry, you can't see the thing, can you?
I can't see the TV when you're in the way of it now.
Go on.
Yeah, well, Tom, it's just a bit. I think they're huffing and puffing a little bit, Wigan, now. As people predicted earlier, that most of the pundits on this show predicted earlier, mate, they've run out of steam a little bit. Not as at it as they were in the first half, were they? In terms of the pace, and I think we've got the pace still, Tom. I think we've got the energy still. I'd like to see Ronan get in the game a little bit. He's done absolutely nothing, has he, Ronan? But then saying that, you can't do much unless you give him the ball in the right place, can you?
No. You can't argue with that, can you? You can't say to him he's not doing much when he's not getting the...
When no one's feeding him.
Oh, exactly.
As we often said in the past, feed the goat.
Absolutely. Here comes Andy Cannon down the right-hand side as the sun continues to shine down on things for Pompey. Marcus Harness, ball flashing across the box. Oh, my word. How did that not go in? Ryan Williams with the strike.
Keeper saved that
Question whether that crossed the line. I thought the keeper had saved it and sort of pulled it into the net with him, Andrew.
Williams would have been shouting, wouldn't he?
Peterborough have taken the lead against Sunderland. So there we go. That is sort of still half an hour to go in that game, but nonetheless, it's Peterborough United 1, Sunderland 0 at the London Road.
That ends up 1-1, Tom.
Sariki Dembele with a goal on 66 minutes. Harvey White is the man about to take the corner.
Is he 10 yards?
He's protesting. No, he's not. You can see the little marker there. I don't know if the referee's going to pull it back or not. I think he probably will do. Yeah, step back. You know what you're doing, Vive Solomon Otterboy. We've seen you before. Comes the corner. Right arm goes in the air by Harvey White. Left foot is the delivery. Ball goes in, and it's still dangerous from Pompey. Marcus Harness, things still alive with him. Initially, Callum Lang gets the better of it, but that will be a corner ball that Lang's not happy about, protesting to the lino on that far side.
And Lino says, shut up, you knocked it out. Why do players do that when they know full well they've knocked it out of play, and then he argues with the lino? What is it about them? You kicked it out of Punditry. It's your fault, mate. Don't argue about it. Shut up and get on with the game. There he is again. Step back. 10 yards, mate.
Harvey White is the man. Right foot, right arm goes up. Left foot delivers the ball in. It's a decent header and a decent ball instead of the box. Sorry, and the header is away from Wigan Athletic. Header, a bit Dorset, wasn't it? Header. Marcus Harness on this near side. Plays it into Ryan Williams. It's just too much on it for him, and that will head out of play for a Jamie Jones goal kick. 65 minutes, and what we said at half-time, Andrew, very much a reverse of what we've seen so far from Danny Cowley's Pompey, but a sort of hit or miss first half performance and then rampant in the second. I don't think Wigan have had very much in terms of, well, they've been a little bit this end, isn't there? But
I think we've got a bit more good control over the game, haven't we?
Yeah. And Aaron said at halftime, we need a goal. Well, how about 36 seconds into the second half? How's that for we need a goal? Your wish is Pompey's command, Aaron, I would have thought.
I mean, it's not a very obvious thing to say, we need a goal, is it?
Curtis.
we actually need
very
a goal.
true, though.
Anytime, as soon as
we always need a goal,
exactly.
actually.
It doesn't matter when you're playing, but whenever you're playing, we always need a goal. It could be in the first seconds or the 45th second and the 45th minute. It don't matter. 95th minute, you need a goal, didn't you? So, Aaron, would you please stop making obvious statements, mate?
But it was very true, and thank you for making it, because it came true. Your wish came true, and always referee again. It's Solomon Otterboy, who's been a nuisance so far in this second half, especially. And they might need Callum Johnson might need a little bit of treatment.
No, he doesn't. He needs a rest.
I'm probably just thinking, a bit of respite.
Yeah.
Aaron's got the message. There you go. Aaron's contributions are always welcome, and I think he's very right in what he was saying. He bought us a flag. Don't dissing Aaron.
No, I'm not dissing Aaron. I'm just telling him that less obvious comments are probably not necessary. Unnecessary.
I think you've lost it, mate. I think you've lost your marbles. He's lost his marbles. I think you lost your marbles quite a while ago, actually, didn't you, to be fair?
I think it's the 4 years of pain, Tom.
Perhaps it could be the 4 years of pain. There's the long ball. Not very few and far between from Pompey this afternoon. Marcus Harness is doing his best to win it off him. He's done incredibly well. Curtis is off away. Andy Cannon sprinting up there as well. Oh, it's not bad.
A little touch on that. He tried to touch that past him and go around him, didn't he?
They're all very good friends, actually. Curtis, Harness, and Cannon working together as a trio is devastating, especially for a team. To no disrespect, like Wigan Athletic.
That's the ball I'm talking about from Brown.
Yeah. It's been hit and miss, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Hit and miss. 69 minutes now on the clock.
He whacks it straight to Harvey there at pace. He's 5 yards from him.
Accrington have taken the lead away to Oxford United. The score at the Kassam is 2-1 to Accrington. Here's Luke Robinson. Finds Viv Solomon Otterboy.
who we've seen before. Michael Nottingham's the man with the goal for Accrington. Ball goes in. It's a dangerous one. And again, Sean Raggett clumsy in the box. And it is terrifying, isn't it? I don't like watching...
don't like Raggett in the 6-yard
Yeah,
line.
I don't like watching Raggett, full stop.
Don't like watching Raggett anything 18 yards nearer to our goal, Tom.
Retro Shirt Sean has asked, Andrew, how can you be so wrinkle-free after 50 years of supporting Pompey? I think any wrinkles might have come in the last 4 or so.
It's $4,000, mate. Spent $4,000 on it.
He's had quite a lot of work done, to be fair to him. He has. He's had more work done than Cheryl Cole, which is quite a statement.
I haven't worked on Cheryl Cole. I've just had more work done than her.
No, I would hope you haven't worked on Cheryl Cole.
On the channel, bud.
Harvey White now. Let's end that conversation there before we get taken off.
Divorced.
Harvey White. I doubt she's watching. Don't worry.
She's not watching. She's in the kitchen.
She's busy, isn't she?
She's doing something. Yeah.
Harvey. I think it was Andy Cannon. He conceded. Got the foul. Won the foul. Sorry. You don't like win the foul, do you?
No.
Received the foul.
Yeah.
Should we say? And it's a ball on the touchline for Tom Naylor. It'll be Lee Brown will perhaps take this one. We're ticking over into 70 minutes. It's going to nudge that. I don't know why players do that. Nudges it just
it like
a yard and a half forwards. Yeah.
If this goes in a yard and a half forwards, Tom, then we'd be quite happy. But if it goes a yard and a half long, then we won't be.
Ball over the top. Header down for Raggett of all people.
Right,
Robinson will get away. Harness wins it before it can gain any ground from a Wigan Athletic point of view.
Can't believe the space he's got.
Andy Cannon has got a lot of space, and so has Lee Brown, who's trotting down this near touchline. Pacey as ever. Harvey White now.
That's a runt ball from Harvey White.
Back to Brown. A runt ball?
Yes, it's a loose, wild one.
Jack Watmore's.
Where's he going?
I don't know where he's going. He's back to Tom Nose, the furthest man back from Pompey.
That's
a
bit
of a
one for McGilvery.
You can imagine if
look at that. That's suicide almost. What's wrong with you, Blues?
Right.
Oranges.
Chill out.
No, but another time, Tom, it could have been so damaging. You know,
that's a really nice ball from Harness. It's just a shame they didn't quite work out for Callum Johnson.
He didn't run for it, mate. Callum Johnson should have sprinted for that, and he didn't waste his time, did he? He just let it run on.
He did waste his time.
Well, he wasted everyone's time.
Yeah, including you, and I can see you're not happy about it. You're not happy at all. Andrew's not happy at all.
Jessica won't be happy watching.
No, I know. Jessica will be disappointed.
She's 8 years old, and he's setting an example to her like that.
All right, crikey.
Well, just saying.
Not happy. Wigan Athletic now in possession. 72 minutes is approaching. Please don't kick the table.
Tom,
I know what you...
I've been stretching my legs because I did a 7K run this morning, as you well know.
Right.
And you didn't because you wanted to sit around doing nothing.
Cheers.
So 7K run after walking up that mountain yesterday.
I actually went to Bournemouth Beach earlier on this morning, I'll have you know. I had a lovely walk round there,
okay.
Give me a break.
Cold, wasn't it?
It was cold.
Yeah.
Well,
it was cold on my run.
It warmed up a little bit. Anyway, that's besides the point. 72 and a half minutes has been played now. Ladies and gents, you do us a favour, actually, seeing as there are, well, just be interested. Let us know where you join us live on the planet here on Fournilwrittenalloverit this afternoon. Are you in the Portsmouth area? Do you join us from Bosham like Sean? Adam Poirier was in Bosham earlier. He joins us from Chichester. Are you joining us from Watford like Aaron? Are you joining us from the beautiful county of Devon like Retro Shirt Sean? Do you join us from Shropshire like Marathon Man Richard? Or do you perhaps join us from somewhere else? Let us know. Kai Wang Kwok joins us all the way from Hong Kong. As always,
Kai Wang Kwok, he's always here, isn't he?
It's lovely to see you.
We love Hong Kong. We've been to your city a couple of times.
We have.
Kai Wang.
Tin Hau is our nearest tube stop when we stay in Metro Park, Causeway Bay. If you know, you know. Brian joins us all the way from Rio de Janeiro. Littlehampton are watching from Kent, says Jack Green. No Snow, New York State from William Thompson. Thanks for being with us again. Gosport, Lincoln, Whiteley, Essex, Southsea, sunny Yeoviltown, Northwest London. Westbourne today from from the legend Sean Meads. War Bunker in Bosnia from Jenko. Slough, Glastonbury, Naples watching from Kent.
Only Pompey fan in my school. Jack, you're doing us proud, mate. Gaz has said, Tom, another great day. Was Pompey 6-1 leads in 2003? You were too young to remember. Gary O'Neill with 2. We were talking about a Division 2 win at St James's Park. Was Gaz's first game watching Pompey back in 91, I believe he said it was.
That's a serious surname, isn't it? Guinness.
Max joins us from Montenegro. I'm sure he enjoys a Guinness or two. Chris is joining us. He says, Happy Easter from Barbados. Straight back at you, Chris. Thanks for being with us. Portchester, Finchley, Baffins, Amesbury, Portsmouth, Guernsey, not Gunnersby. What am I talking about? I'm on the south coast of the US. Florida, play at Pompey. You've had some dealings with the state of Florida in the past, Andrew?
Yeah, I've been to Florida a few times, Tom. It was quite warm.
Nice. Very cutting edge reports from your time in Florida there. Really appreciate that analysis. Bangkok from Indochina. James, welcome along once again. Lovely to have you. And twinned with Bangkok is Kevin from Sheffield. Welcome to the stream, Kevin. Thanks for joining us live on Fournilwrittenalloverit.
Twinned with Bangkok nowadays, is it?
Well, it was the next comment, so I just sort of married them together.
Yeah.
But it's
like Gospel's twinned with New York.
Yeah, exactly. Similar places, aren't they?
Yeah, similar.
75 minutes now. We're 15 minutes from the break. Sorry, it's a challenge.
Mexicans
he's
in
gonna
Gospel.
He's gonna pull that back. The referee is a challenge on Andy Cannon that he was not happy with. Halifax in Yorkshire. Good afternoon to Simon. Welcome to the stream.
Love your puddings, Simon. Love your puddings.
Stow on the Wold.
Stow on
Halifax
the Wold,
pudding.
Gloucestershire. That's
sorry.
near. I know Stow on the Wold. That's near. We went
Bolton on the Water.
We went to Bolton on the Water, didn't we? Nice.
We did, yeah. Sussex, welcome along. Andover, happy Easter. Straight back at you, Andy. Thank you very much. And Estepona, Spain from Nick Pompey, as well as Miltos, who joins us once again from Greece, and Lou, who joins us from Belgium. Good afternoon to you all. Hopefully you're all doing really well, and thanks for joining us as worldwide as you always are here live on Fournilwrittenalloverit.
And we happen to know that Thailand, Bangkok, is closer to Peterborough than it is to Pompey.
Yes, that was a bit of useless knowledge that we worked out a couple of weeks ago.
Out, didn't we?
A referee's blown up for a free kick in
Is Bangkok closer to Wigan or closer to Pompey?
Closer to Pompey.
Yeah, I think you.
I would have thought so. Just in the grand scheme of things, you wouldn't have thought. Hollywood in California says Paul, and apparently it's squeaky bum time, says Will.
No, Will, it's not bad.
Are we looking all right, Andrew? I've been keeping an eye on comments rather than the game, but I can see that
it's been a sort of. It's not really that exciting, Tom. Hence why we're talking about people from all around the world. But it's okay.
Oh, they're exciting as well.
Yeah, no, I meant it's just. Here we go.
Delivery in from. It's going to trouble absolutely no one.
76 minutes.
I might have another jammy. Do you want one?
I'm all right, thanks. I'm driving on.
You haven't had any today. What's going on?
I'm driving on.
What, you driving back to the lounge over there?
Yeah.
How far is it?
I'm going to have a jammy dodger in a minute, Tom. But the game's been a little bit petered out a little bit. It's just a bit sort of disjointed was the word I'm looking for. And I can't see because you're eating your jammy dodger and you're in front of the screen mush.
All right, sorry, I'm just trying to eat a jammy dodger in peace.
No, that's all right. So eat your jammy dodger. I'm sure everyone else is eating dodgers out there in the world. It's a great ball to Curtis.
That's going to be a corner, referee. No, it's not. He's going to keep it in.
He's kept it in. That's done well. He was given a free kick, actually, against Curtis in their 18-yard box, which is a bit strange because I don't think he did too much wrong apart from stick his foot on it. He might have given that the other way, but he didn't.
We are now just 12 minutes or so.
It's keeper to keeper, Tom.
From the break, it is keeper to keeper. It's a route one pass. It's gone all the way through to McGilvery.
McGilvery, don't do that.
The thing is that you know exactly why they do it, so they can have more time to hold
Yeah,
the ball.
that's all right, but don't give it to the last millisecond.
Oh, it's an equaliser for Sunderland at Peterborough United. Is now one apiece. If it stays like that, that's probably the result that Pompey fans would have wanted.
It is a great result.
I cannot believe we have two Paul Fentons.
They're probably the same person.
They're not. It's Paul in California, and I'm not sure where the other Paul joins us from.
Did you watch Saturday Night Takeaway, Tom? They had twins, didn't they? Maybe they're clones.
You love that show, don't you? Oh, the clones.
Yeah, they cloned each other.
There's a bit of a substitution.
Paul Fenton, meet Paul Fenton.
I'd love to know where the other Paul Fenton joins us from.
No, I'm in Cornwall. Okay, there we go.
That's as close as you're going to get to Argentina.
But no, it's Hollywood.
Oh, Hollywood. It's as close as you're going to get to Hollywood, even.
It's
close
Cornwall
enough.
versus Hollywood. Solomon Ottawa's been taken off. It's Gardner for Wigan Athletic who's come onto the pitch. We're now into 79 minutes.
Oh, Raggett has just flattened that geezer.
And as Jake has quite rightly said, you can tell that the brand deal hasn't quite gone through yet because Andrew is letting the advertisement of Jammy Dodgers down. If we were partnered up with Burton's Biscuits, they'd pull the plug because you haven't had one.
Burton's were given their opportunity, Tom, and they didn't come through with the
No,
cash.
well, we're waiting, aren't we?
They didn't come through with the cash, Tom, so I'm sorry to say it. We might have to change the brand in a minute.
Oh, crikey.
Yep.
That's bad news.
No. Might go for chocolate
dear.
biscuits.
I think it's been a serious clash of heads, actually.
I'm not going to use the word McVitie's, but if they don't sort their lives out, Burton's, then McVitie's is on the table. The deal could be slipping out of their fingers, Tom.
The Wigan Athletic player on the deck, he's receiving a little bit of treatment. We're going to watch it again and see what happened.
Raggett jumped on him.
Oh, my word. Sean Raggett.
That's a clash of heads, Tom.
He went for the ball.
He leapt like a salmon.
Oh, Jaffa Cakes are a good shout from Anthony Martin.
Too much glucose in them, bud.
Too much glucose?
Yeah.
That's what you use to respire, mate. You don't want to. You need a bit of glucose in you.
It's not for your eyesight, Tom.
Why? Sorry?
Glaucoma.
What?
Oh, forget it. You're too young to even think about it. Talk to Retro Shirt Sean. He knows. He's in the medicine world.
Well, there we go. Right, 80 minutes to go now. 80 minutes to go? 10 minutes to go. There's a serious bit of treatment that's happening.
I can't keep drinking this gin, Tom.
I don't think it's gin, Andrew.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of gin. Although, good news. Sorry, don't like to wish it on anyone, but
No.
Raggett's coming off. Rasmus is coming on. And he might have lost another tooth there, Sean Raggett.
No, he split his eye open, Thomas. You don't want to wish that on anyone. That's pretty.
I don't think they're holding his face, aren't they?
I don't know. There's a drop ball in it. Or is it
It's
free kick to them?
it's Callum Lang who's looked like initially he'd come off the worst, actually.
Well, he's not now because Raggett's getting
Sorry,
some stitches in his head.
I don't think he will, Andrew.
I think he might. If he's cut that bad, Tom, they've gone straight down the tunnel with him.
I think they might have done, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, Burton have taken the lead in their game against Swindon Town.
Exciting. Burton. You see? You mentioned Burton, and all of a sudden, Burton's. They go 1-0 up.
2-1 up. Both players have actually had to come off. So it will be Rasmus who comes on.
Is he on the pitch yet?
Yeah. I think he's ready to rumble.
No, is he actually on the pitch?
It's going to be a ball delivered in from Lee Evans.
That's
Yes,
great
they
commitment
wouldn't have
from
made
him.
the substitution otherwise, would they? Of course he's on the pitch. Harvey White's the man standing in the wall. Jumps, doesn't get anywhere near it. And automatically Rasmus is involved. And Marcus Harness will chase this one out. Oh,
Great ball.
brilliant. Here we go. Counter-attacks on. Only a couple of men for Ronan Curtis
Don't
to
go
beat.
offside. Don't go offside.
Blue and white shirts flood back. And Andy Cannon's absolutely done him. Can he make it 2? No, he
It's a corner. It's
can't.
a corner,
Over
isn't
the
it?
crossbar. Another shot from distance. Well over the bar, and that one
It's
will
got to be given that to Ronan Curtis. Why is he taking that on? That annoys me, Tom. Look, give it to Ronan.
not there.
Yeah.
The sort of heads go in the air from Harvey White and Ryan Williams. They're thinking they could have done so much with that.
Everyone works so hard to get up there.
Saw his
That's
name in
greedy.
lights, perhaps, Andrew.
That's greedy, mate. I don't like that.
Yeah, that. There we go.
Anyway, Sunderland have equalised, which is good news for us.
They have.
Because there's that, and if Sunderland score again, which you don't want them to.
Sean's actually made the point that we have now got finally the centre-back pairing that we've wanted, inadvertently.
Well, yeah, by accident, but I don't wish it on Raggett. Obviously, like no one does. We don't see people injured, do we, or hurt? But
Oh, there we go. Wigan Athletic with an opportunity to come forward. It's George Johnston who's still got the ball after dancing around a couple of players. Ball goes in and Craig McGilvery will leap nice and high
Leapt like a salmon.
Clatters down to the ground. And he will take his time here, Greg McGilvery. And it's sort of 6 or 7 minutes. There will be a little bit of added on time at the end of this one, just because of the stoppages that we have had. Just hit the 84-minute mark now. Marcus Harness on this right-hand side tries to thread a ball through, but it's taken a deflection and heads back into Wigan Athletic possession. All they can do is head back towards their own goal. It's a dangerous pass that Rowan Curtis can't quite latch onto. Will put Jamie Jones under pressure to dispatch earlier than he wanted to. Oh, as the ball goes in from Wigan Athletic, and this, Jesus Christ. Pompey, stop making it look ominous in the penalty area in terms of Callum Johnson he's sort of taken Sean Raggett's place in terms of almost concealing a pen. My word. Andrew's now completely disinterested in the football as Jack Watmore fires one up the pitch. 85 minutes on the clock.
I can't see it, Tom, because you're sitting.
There you go, you can see it now.
I was studying the league tables, that happens.
And again, it was Lee Evans who put the ball in. And again, Callum Johnson. You've mentioned a suicide mission earlier on, Andrew, but that...
Yeah, I could have given them a pen.
Particularly... Oh, no, I said the word ominous initially, but it was. Could have been a pen quite easily. And Ryder Williams is on the deck and might need to... No, he's going to be all right to continue. The referee halts the Pompey medical team from making their way onto the pitch. If you haven't yet left the stream a like this afternoon, boys and girls, now is the time to do so. Would be great to head up towards 200 likes on the stream. You've been fantastic all afternoon, and we really appreciate you sticking with us for what is only one of the... We're into single figures for the rest... Well, depending on the situation.
Shame to see Plymouth losing 3-0.
Depending on the situation in terms of where Pompey end up come the beginning of May in the league table and the final standings, we may give you a couple more games than we're expecting. But for the time being, we have just got a couple of... Not a couple, but... You can count the games on your hand now that we've got left for the live stream. So stick with us. We're bringing them to you every single match day. Our next one will come on Saturday against Burton Albion, the 10th of April, followed by a Tuesday night fixture. I believe it's...
Tom, we've got a lot of work to do in the last 3 minutes to get 4, haven't we?
Have we?
Yeah, we've got to get 4 goals yet. There's 3 minutes left. No, we've got to get 3 goals, 3 minutes.
Fleetwood have taken the lead against Wimbledon. And oh, no, I see what you mean now. Sorry.
Who cares about Wimbledon?
I like to tell the viewers about the scores going in League One. I know you don't care very much, but there might be a Wimbledon or a Fleetwood fan in here. If you are in here, I'd like to ask what you're doing and not watching your own game. I believe Harness is going to be withdrawn from proceedings. It's going to be James Bolton who's going to be coming on for the final 3 minutes.
So he's probably tired, isn't he?
Whatever's added on.
Harness has run his socks off.
And he's done that for 3 consecutive games now.
Man in the match for me, Tom,
is
Andy Cannon.
Not a question, really, is there?
I love him anyway, you know that.
Yeah, I've got a lot of love. A lot of love for Andy Cannon.
Got a man love for Andy Cannon.
Nice. A lot of man love. James Bolt, I think James Bolt has gone immediately over to take... No, it's Callum Johnson. You can tell by the small shirt. Cronin Curtis has received it. He's trying to muscle off the defender. He's done really well to get rid of Luke Robinson initially, and that one will be a well-won free kick for... well-won throw-ins on that far side. Curtis initially picks up. Go on.
Ronan's been marked out of the game, and he completely... They've done a good job on him. There's always 2 or 3 men on him, which frustrates him, obviously, but he's a good player, Tom, and they know his threat, so therefore they're just closing him down quickly, aren't they?
Curtis is in receipt of that ball in initially, and he's had it taken off him again, and Cannon will work hard. Penalty area looks to put the challenge in, and again, Lee Brown... Pompey pressing from the front once again. It took a little bit of a dip in the sort of the middle stages of this second half in terms of how much we were dropping off. Rasmus rises for the challenge. Didn't think we'd see him back in an orange shirt, but good to see him back on the pitch.
I wonder what Cowley's saying to them now about holding on to the ball. I wonder what he's saying to them, to the Pompey players. Because we're a little bit wayward, Tom. We get the ball, we're just starting to lump it back into their half, which I think is better. It was better than keeping it in our own half, but it's not as good as playing it out, I don't think. And because there's going to be a bit of stoppage time with the injury to Raggett, isn't there?
Mm. So I'd like to apologise actually on behalf of Fournilwrittenalloverit because, well, I think it was Dad. I've just seen a comment from Crikey. Just called you Dad on the stream.
What?
Never do that, do I?
What have I said?
Well, no, it's nothing to be worried about. I'm just making a joke about it. But Max said, I remember Andrew said doesn't want Cannon to come on at half time. We were sat with Sean and Alex at the time, and I asked them the question about Cannon. I actually said I don't think there'd be any changes necessary. Well, after the change was made, 36 seconds later, Pompey took the lead. So there we go.
Did I actually say that, or did I say Andy Cannon should get on the pitch?
Such is the world of modern football. You actually said you'd leave it as it is. I think was exactly what you said.
10 minutes at least, and make some changes on 30 minutes to go. But actually, the changes. I mean, obviously, Cowley is listening to us anyway because he always does.
He did drop us at a stage during the first half. I know he's dropped the iPad on the touchline.
That's where he missed it.
Yeah.
He missed the messaging, didn't he?
Perhaps he did sort of miss it just for a moment or two. It'll be 7 minutes. Will be added on at the end of this one.
Well, we've got a chance of winning this 4-0 then.
Always the optimist, never the pessimist. Lee Evans delivers a ball into the box, and it's a dangerous one. And again, Rasmus wins it. Strike from distance, deflected, and Harvey White will be the nearest man to it to head away. This is Lee Evans once again. And Andy Cannon's working hard to get the ball off him. So is Ronan Curtis. His only option is backwards with Tendai Darikura. Ball goes in to the box from Wigan Athletic, and Harvey White once again rises. Hull have sealed the deal at the KCOM. It's now 3-0 to the Tigers against Northampton. And again, that ball is floated in, Andrew. A lot of sort of zap and danger on it. But when it eventually works its way into the box, there's always an orange man standing underneath it to head it away. George Johnston now. Scotsman's been dispossessed by Andy Cannon well, and he ended up having the final touch there. The 22-year-old playing for the Latics, and Andy Cannon managed to win the throw-in. And Pompey will take all the time in the world. Not Pompey, it's mainly Lee Brown who's taken ages. Viv Solomon Otterbour's quite... Oh, I don't know if he's still on the pitch, actually.
Yeah, he's gone to get the ball.
Oh, I think he came off, actually. No, that's not Solomon Otterbour, that's someone else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's come over to retrieve the ball. He wants Lee Brown to take it rather quickly. He's not going to do so.
He's got to go to an orange shirt, not down the line, in my view.
And it doesn't go to an orange shirt. It does go down the line, exactly what Andrew said. And here's the danger. Ball into the box now for Wigan Athletic. Almost an opportunity to Funzo Ojo to get on the end of it. Rasmus Nikolaisen had other ideas, but the ball's only to halfway for Wigan Athletic to send one aloft and back in. And again, Rasmus is there to deal with it, not convincingly. Ojo, Jack needed to get in there. Perhaps Craig McGilvery was probably calling for that one. Didn't manage to get on the end of it. And Rasmus again. Pompey needing to batten down the hatches in some sense of the word in these last couple of stages. 2 minutes of the 7 has been played. It's not quite relentless, Andrew, but it's still...
It's pressure, isn't it?
It's pressure, nonetheless.
We should be stopping this happening, Tom. We're going to get the ball and play some football, haven't we?
Cannon looking to get on the right side of the ball now.
We're inviting the pressure, Tom. We're sitting back too far and just letting them play with the football.
It almost mirrors the Shrewsbury game towards the end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In terms of what we're seeing. 2.5 minutes of the 97 has been played. Ball is now back with James Jones. A little bit of respite for Pompey before it's delivered back into the box. It's finished between Rochdale and Ipswich. 0-0. A boring draw there at the Crown Oil Arena. Ipswich, perhaps you could look at it from a positive point of view. They're another step towards that all-important playoff position that they will be hoping for. Ball goes in, another dangerous one. It's still alive for Wigan Athletic, but Ryan Williams' legs deny the impending cross. This is George Johnston now. Gets an early cross in. Full time at the KCOM. Hull City 3, Northampton 0. Same scoreline for the game between Shrewsbury and Plymouth. It's finished 3-0 to the Shrews. Referee's blown up for a foul on the touchline. For Pompey, actually. So a little bit of respite there. And good news, Andrew, Peterborough United and Sunderland have drawn a goal apiece.
You did say that'd be a good result for us.
Simulation booking for Curtis Tilts, the Jamaican, who's not sure whether it was simulation for the challenge or whether it was simulation because he wouldn't give the ball back. Initially, looked more like a foul than a booking, and then he just sort of held on to it, didn't he? You know, whether a bit of mixed messages from the Wigan Athletic players. You've got
Geezer on the near. Sorry, I shouldn't call him Geezer, but I haven't got the name written down. But he's on the near touchline, going to retrieve the ball for Lee Brown, and then on the flip side of that, it's a booking for perhaps simulation or a bit of a heavy challenge. Andy Cannon looks to nod it on from his player, and he'll be the man chasing it down from Luke Robinson. But the Latics have managed to win the ball back, and Ryan Williams is the nearest to that one, ticking over into 4 minutes of the added on 7. There's confirmation on the screen of Tilt's booking. Jamaican 29-year-old. It's finished. Oxford United 1, Accrington Stanley 2. Accrington winning another game away from home. Pompey play them towards the end of the season twice, in very quick succession, I should add as well. It's going to be a Pompey throw in that Lee Brown is taking his time with. And that's actually good news from a Pompey point of view, is that Peterborough Sunderland score, Andrew.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Yeah, good, Tom. It makes us, we were saying earlier, that puts us 2 points closer to Peterborough, doesn't it, now, if we win this one? Which is what we were talking about earlier. They don't have to lose those 6 games. Draw 6 would be enough, or lose a couple and draw a couple and lose one and win one, maybe, you know?
Yeah, and I think
a lot of different permutations. Everyone thinks win and lose is the key. If we just keep winning and allow other teams to drop points, that's the most important thing.
And we see quite a lot of comments, and quite a lot of people say it, and Aaron said it before we got going this afternoon, is that the imperative thing is to focus on ourselves, and that's all we can control, isn't it? Lee Brown's actually going to get a booking here, isn't he, for time wasting? Of course he is. Using a bit of experience there. You know,
yeah, but just throw it to an orange shirt. Go this way if you need to, but throw it to an orange shirt. Why does he put it down there?
Ronan Curtis has headed that one on.
It's annoying because somebody else has got to come in and take the pressure off him. Let him pass the ball back to someone and pass it across the back.
And Gary's made the point that we're 12 points off the top spot with 2 games in hand on Hull City. That's 6 points, Andrew, and then that's only a 6-point gap. Imagine if Hull City go on to lose 2 games and we win both,
Well, if we win both of them and Hull lose those 2.
But you've also got Peterborough and Sunderland are in there as well, so that's kind of, and Lincoln are there too.
Yeah.
So I think we
Lincoln are below us
displaced.
now,
Yeah, I think we displaced them now, seeing as they haven't played this afternoon and they've got some COVID troubles. But they will have a few games to make up come the end of the season as well. So whether or not that has an influence on things at all, I am not quite sure.
Oh, that's excellent from Williams.
What did he do?
He just won the ball back. He won the ball back. That's referee. It's a foul, but he didn't give it. So
it wasn't quite excellent. Would have been if the foul had been given. Was it excellent?
He didn't try
nonetheless?
to win a foul. It was just a foul.
Cool, calm and collected from Jack Watmore on his 6-yard line, heading to Lee Brown, who will eventually,
Brown, to be fair to him, did really well
at the pitch. And Ronan Curtis, good first touch. And will the referee blow up for a foul on that one? Oh, that's not very friendly, actually, from Lee Evans, who's already on a booking, I believe, this afternoon. I think it looked like, Andrew, that he might have got a little bit of a...
He got a kick in, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure if anything in that one. The camera positions...
well, let's make as much of as we can out of it, Mr. Curtis.
Quite a distance away. Not quite. The referee's just going to check that Ronan Curtis is all right.
He's telling him to get up.
He is... And Lee Brown again is going to take his time with this one.
He's going to get booked again and sent off.
I don't know if there's ever been a sort of 2 bookings in added time for time wasting. Andy Cannon.
Oh, he's massive, isn't he?
My word, he is massive. Will he win the corner is the question. I don't think
he's kicked out there.
He almost did. And things are getting a little bit feisty in the last couple of minutes. Ref, we just need you to blow the whistle now. And he has, I can confirm, the full-time whistle has gone at the DW Stadium. It's finished. Wigan Athletic 0, Pompey 1. And
4 wins in a row, Tom.
And for the first time all season, Pompey win 4 games on the trot in League One. And Andrew's buzzing. There we go. What an enjoyable afternoon that was. I mean, there were points in the first half, weren't there, where you thought, "Oh, this could be a little bit more difficult." Than
to be fair to Wigan, Tom, they're a decent outfit, and I don't think they'll end up in the bottom 3. That's for sure. I think they carry on playing like that, they'll be all right.
Okay, Andrew,
they've just come up against a better side today.
Thank you for the moment, and appreciate your. Don't poke me. What was that? That was just ask. Anyway, gentlemen, Richard and Aaron are here and they're ready to join us. And gents, what did you make of what you've seen? Richard, you said you wanted us to be better. We've gone and done that. We've delivered you the second half we're all after.
Yeah, I say Cannon come on made a big difference, I think. You could tell he was a lot fresher than what Close was. I say obviously Close going off, but we needed that, didn't we? Needed that sparkle, and I say that, what was it, 36 seconds, 46 seconds, whatever it was, and a bit of brilliance. But the thing is, when he got through, it seemed just to open up for him, didn't it? It's like the Red Sea opened up and it was like, here we go, it's going to go over the top. But, fantastic. It's what we needed. We played better in the second half. Felt a bit for Curtis, just seemed lost, running around, say nothing being passed to him. But I think we've got the midfield now. If I didn't think Jacobs played well in the first half anyway. So I'd like Cannon and Close, Naylor. That's a nice three. Rasmussen, we've got our back four, and we finally, after months, trying to get him. But like I mentioned in the thing, Raggett gets a lot of head injuries, and so you start to get a bit concerned that the amount he gets, because surely he must, have some type of concussion. I'm not sure whether they do the checks like they do with the rugby on the concussion front of things, but he certainly gets injured a lot on that with the head.
Yeah, he's lost a few teeth in the process, hasn't he? I know, obviously, we don't want to wish an injury on anyone, and we wish also that the Wigan Athletic player, we should say, probably came off worse than Raggett, so we wish him well. But we have now finally got that partnership, Richard, and perhaps it'd be interesting to see. Danny Cowley's almost forced into it. I'm not sure if Raggett might recover for next Saturday, and we might not see Rasmus and Jack together, but do you hope now that this might pave the way inadvertently for those two to operate from minute one on Saturday?
I think so. I think it's nice to give Rasmussen that chance, isn't it? Now give Raggett the rest, because as I say, they're playing week in, week out. Look at I always look at Naylor as well. I can't remember Naylor actually being taken off as a sub at any point. So they're playing a lot of that. A lot of minutes. On the park, but no, I say Jacket, Rasmussen in the back, like Andrew mentioned about with Daniels, to put him in place of Lee Brown, and say Johnson. I thought he did all right on the right, didn't he? So, but I still think of Bolton as well. I think Bolton's a good player. But we've certainly got the options there, haven't we now?
Aaron, what did you make of what you saw? And you said that you needed a goal, and Andrew sort of. I don't know what he was thinking, but he said that it's stating the obvious. But sometimes it's those things that just need to be, we need to remember the basics, don't we, at points, and go and get a goal. And it only took 36 seconds. How pleased were you with that?
Oh, definitely. I think because Cannon was so fresh as well, Wigan just didn't know what to do. And then all of a sudden he'd done that lovely little run and scored that blinding goal. So well needed, but I think we actually a bit of bullet today. We just scraped that win. See, we're all tired. Definitely need a good couple of days off and everything now. So
not till Saturday, no Tuesday night, or is there, Richard?
No Tuesday. You mentioned Tuesday actually earlier on. I checked my phone just to double check. It's only tomorrow.
Just before we carry on, gents, there's your league table right now as it stands. Pompey in a decent. Sorry, Richard, I completely got rid of you there. But Hull looking. They had quite a few games in hand at one point, didn't they? But that position's looking pretty concrete, unless I suppose Peterborough have got a game in hand there, have they? And Sunderland with the opportunity. But Pompey actually, Richard, with a sort of, you wish a little bit of bad luck for both Borough and Sunderland, and Pompey could maybe, 2 games in hand. It's not too many points away now. That looks. What do you think right now? How are you feeling?
I say that there's definitely the possibility, isn't there? Is what we've said. We've just got to focus on ourselves. We don't worry about the teams that are around us, because we've seen it all season. The time when we think that Sunderland, Peterborough are going to get a loss, we end up losing. So it's all in our court now. We've just got to keep on picking the wins. 4 in 4. It's the Cowleys are doing a cracking job, and that's it. We've just got to push as hard and as we can get, really.
And Aaron, the situation for Lincoln, obviously, I was actually thinking that there was kind of you know, they might end up dropping a few games off and going a few behind, but it's only actually a game in hand. They don't have any on Blackpool, who are immediately above them, and then they're now 2 points behind us with only a game in hand. So that's not actually that much of a problem, is it? And actually that kind of congests it for the team slightly below us. Looking upwards though, Pompey, with it's all out in front of us now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Lincoln are out of it now, only because the amount of injuries they've got. They've been dropping for weeks now, so it's a shame to see them go. But yeah, I think they've been punching above their weight for months now, and I think it's going to go to the very last game of the season. We're going to carry on winning, and then Peterborough, Sunderland, and even Hull, they're going to win. They're going to draw a few and even lose a couple. But I think it's definitely going to go to the last game of the season, and if we can actually get automatics on the last day, then I'll be happy with that.
Yeah. I think Sean mentioned that it doesn't matter how we get there, as long as we can get up. Whether there's fans in the stadium or not, we just need to be up, don't we? Because we know full well from the start of next season, fans are going to be allowed in. Fingers crossed. So we can go there, fresh start in the Championship, new teams to watch. It'll be absolutely fantastic.
And I've be a party atmosphere every game. It'd be a party atmosphere every single game then, back in the Championship. It's been too long.
And I wanted to say as well that it's sort of, this isn't really an announcement that no one was expecting, but what we will try and endeavour to do, and I will make this semi-promise to you now, is if it's Championship football that Pompey get to enjoy next season, we will do our very best to get to every single one of them, to bring them to you here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Even if it's League One football, we might as well say that we'll do every single one, because I think we'll all agree that we've missed it so terribly, haven't we? Anyway, gentlemen, just to say as well, thank you to you both for being with us, and I hope you've enjoyed your Easter. Wasn't quite an Easter cracker, was it, Richard? But 6 points, and now it's perfect 4 in 4, isn't it, from the Cowleys? Can't ask for much more.
No. Another win Saturday, another win Tuesday, 6 in 6. That's it. Keep on adding them up, and I say we keep on going further up the table.
Gents, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you Saturday. Anything to add to what they've just been saying, or should we crack on?
Bring the boys in.
Let's crack on. Sean and Brendan and Mike are here. They're very kindly stuck around to join us. We'll be with Alex and Gaz in just a couple of moments. And if what was I about to say? Anyway, sorry, let me carry on. Sean, I've just realised, and you put your comment in before we dissect that game in detail, that Brendan is wearing the away shirt to your home one. And it's crazy, isn't it? I don't know whether there was sort of I don't know if I missed the memo or whatever, but everyone's got the same shirt on.
And it's the 100-year centenary season.
There you go.
That's what I got it out for.
Excellent stuff. Sean, come to you first, mate. We wanted a bit more of an impressive and an exciting second half performance, and we got it, didn't we?
We did. It was a bit nervy in places, but I think the Cowleys got right the ball can on straight away, and he scored. We were saying hang on for 10 minutes, but they did it straight away, and he did really well. Jacobs, he wasn't performing as well as he normally does. I'd have given him a bit longer, a bit of a chance, but maybe they know something we don't. They know the fitness levels. They seem to be aware of what the players can and can't do, and they're just not afraid to change things, which is refreshing.
Were you at all surprised by that change that came on 45 minutes? I think we're used to kind of seeing a 60, 65-minute swap. Obviously, something the Cowleys saw in that first half performance that merited a switch around, and I bet they're glad they made that decision.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're not afraid to make changes. They haven't recruited these players. They're quite, I think they are for the good of the team, and they won't carry players. And I think they're not afraid to make changes. And it's nice to see. He didn't do it in the first half. I'd have kept him on because I think he's a good player, but he did look off out of sorts, looked out of pace. A bit like Brown, but Brown stayed on the entire game.
Mike, how pleased are you with the fact that it's now a perfect run of 4 games for Danny Cowley and his brother in charge so far?
Well, yeah, 12 points from 12 points. Of course, I'm pleased. I'm really, really pleased. Yeah, as I said in the first half, a bit disappointed in our first half. Turned it around a little bit in the second half. I wouldn't say it was totally brilliant. First 10 minutes obviously was superb. I said that we needed to change two, possibly 3. And the last 10 minutes was as exciting as the first 10 minutes of the second half. With us hanging on, trying to keep them at bay for quite a bit of it. and succeeding, obviously. Yeah, I think we needed Cannon to come in and do a bit of biting around people's legs, and he does that so well. And Richard mentioned it just now that we need possibly the midfield three of Naylor, Close, and Cannon. I think that's a great selection problem. And then two behind them, two in front of them, and Curtis up front. I think that's the way forward. But yes, I'm well pleased with the 12 points that we've got from from the 4 games. Yeah.
Looking at that, Brendan, in front of you, where can Pompey hope? It's been a really, really good couple of weeks, hasn't it? And there's always, we've got to be realistic about it. There's always the opportunity that things might not be a perfect run to the end of the season under the Cowleys. But looking at that league table, it's looking only positive, really, isn't it? From where we were at one point this season.
Oh, definitely. Obviously the sort of drop off we had just after Christmas. We went that 2.5, 3 months where it was very hard to see where we were going to pick up another point again. And this change that we've made in management has really helped spur us on. I still think chasing that top 3 is still going to be a task in itself. It's going to be really hard to catch them all up. We're on 64 points and Sunderland's on 71 in the space above us. So they are a tough one to chase. But I'd like to think that we're cementing our place in this playoffs, and we'll give it a good old whack when it comes to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sean, looking at that table, are you nothing but optimistic for Pompey's next, 6 games is it now, plus whatever we might end up playing after that?
I think the key difference is not reflecting the table is the fact that our running is easier than the 3 teams above us. And looking at that, you look at our next 4 games, and I think we finish on I think Swindon's the last of those 4. And I said, round about that time we'll know. And I think, at this rate, the way the teams we're playing, we should pick up all of those points. And if we do, then anything can happen. But we just keep focusing on what we're doing and what the team, keep getting the points, and let the others around us just, draw, lose the odd one, and we'll catch up.
Absolutely. Your wish is my command, Mr. Hamilton, because here is the next couple of Pompey fixtures for you. So you've got Burton, their crew, MK Dons, you mentioned their Swindon, and then Bristol Rovers and Accrington. Interestingly there, Brendan, just building on what Sean was saying there, it is a relatively friendly run for Pompey, although teams not to be underestimated, are they? Sorry, I'm cutting you off slightly, so that's my fault.
That's all right. No, it is as I said, it's a very favourable ending for us, definitely. I think the only teams around there that I think we potentially struggle with is possibly maybe Accrington Stanley, because they're picking up a couple of points here and there against some bigger sides. And but then we can never count off anyone in this league. Anyone can because playing Pompey is a cup final for a lot of teams. And a lot of these teams, ones. Definitely, and a lot of these teams are fighting to stay up. So they're never a friendly team to play as it is. But if we carry on doing what we're doing and we keep to the Cowleys' mentality and mythology, we'll get through the end of the season in a very strong position. Where we are, definitely in the top 7.
Would you say that whatever happens now, although we need to keep winning games, etc., Sean, that a playoff spot is all but I won't say the word guaranteed, but it looks like pretty pleasant for Pompey, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Something surprising would have to happen. Something surprising would have to happen for us to drop out of the playoffs. And I can't see it under this management. We're not going to see that same sort of form. I think they're quite ruthless. They'll really change it, maybe. There's a few. I still think they're finding their first team 11. And those last 10, 15 minutes, I think for Rasmus in particular, has done credit, because we were under the cosh there for quite a while, but we weren't worried. With Raggett in the defence, it does seem a bit softer. The knockdowns and stuff like that we get worried about. But actually, with Rasmus there, it looked quite comfortable.
Yeah. And I think Adam said it in the comments while we were doing commentary, but his aerial capabilities, Sean, are obviously we haven't seen him very much play because Raggett's been a stalwart in that position, but he looked really, really good, didn't he?
I think the difference is he makes headers like Raggett makes them, but he actually knocks them down to a blue shirt or an orange shirt in today's case. more often. And I think it's that. It's just that little bit more, I don't know, composure when he's defending. I think that's what comes through.
And Mike, 24 points to play for. It's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, I did say it in the last commentary, I think, when we were on, that the teams at the bottom are going to be fighting for their lives. Look what Crewe did today. They beat Bankhead Dons. I know they're not very particularly good, but they 2-0 today. Accrington beat Oxford 2-1 today. So and away from home, both of those teams as well. So there's a lot of points to play for, but a lot of people want them for different reasons. And it's all about heart, soul, gall, guts, you name it. That's what's required to get you the points. And we've got to show a lot of that. Blackpool, you asked me about Blackpool, if I remember, at the end of the last time we were on. And look what Blackpool's done. And look where they are now. And they've got a game in hand on us. So we've got to be still looking over our shoulder. It's not over until the fat lady sings, as they say.
Absolutely. And Sean, I'm not going to disagree with Mike because I think what he says is absolutely right. But there's a reason why your front windscreen's bigger than your rear view mirror, isn't there?
Eyes on the prize.
Eyes on the prize. Absolutely. Gentlemen, we'll speak to you both on Saturday. Thank you very much for the moment. Andrew, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to what they've been saying.
No, it's just here we are, automatics, boys. And
God.
I can see us winning it, the automatic place, on the last game of the season at Accrington, when we just need a draw.
And that will be a complete difference to what we saw last season or the season before.
If not, Tom, we know what's going to happen. I've got to buy 7,000 packs of
We've got quite a lot of jammy dodgers coming our way. Gentlemen, thank you both.
One thing, Tom, I know I'm always beating Brown up about his lack of defending, his skills and abilities. However, the second best part of the game was in the second half when he picked the ball up and threw it at that player's head. I thought that was good.
It redeemed himself for you, Mike, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely on that one. Yeah. It wasn't the standard of Lee Brown throwing at. No, it wasn't on the standard of Tom Naylor throwing it at Chris Maguire.
No.
Not as good as that, but he's
still a good one today.
There was one comment that came up on the screen, guys, about it's. Remember, it's always the team that are in form going into the playoffs that normally win it. And
I think it was actually a friend of ours, guys. Maybe I don't know if the name rings a bell. Brendan, Mike, perhaps.
Niall,
that's Niall. I can't see it. So small on his phone. You read it out, Tom, please.
Always the team in form going into the playoffs end up winning. So that should put us in the best place.
Well, he's right, isn't he? Yeah. He's right.
Can't go wrong with that one. Sorry.
No, that's it. There's interesting stuff, Tom.
Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. We will speak to you both on Saturday.
One last thing, boys,
here we go.
Before you go.
He's got to say one last thing. Go on.
I would say Wigan are probably the best team I've seen this season, to be fair, footballing side. They look really, really good. And
better than Sunderland, better than Hull, better than Lincoln.
They played better football consistently for 90 minutes. I think they were energetic. And also, I'd say they're probably the most difficult game we're going to have now to the run-in. The others are going to be easier than that, for sure.
So you're saying it wasn't us playing badly, it was them playing good?
I think so. I thought they were excellent, to be fair to them. I thought they really, really played the football that we like to play, and surprised us a little bit, I have to say. But what I'm saying is, I don't think there's going to be a better team we've got to play this season.
Okay. Yep.
I wonder, just a nod of approval from Sean, but do you think I would probably argue with my dear father here and say that we've got to play Accrington twice, and they're very much in a position
last week, mate.
Yes, I realise that, but they're still in a position, aren't they? That hang on, let's have a quick look. Don't make me look like a mug on my own stream. Hang on, here we go. They're not. No, they're not even in a very. I think they're sort of. What? Where are they, Brendan?
They're 11th.
Well, there you go.
57 points.
Yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Well, they sound like it, especially. Sean, just finally, where do Pompey finish in the league come May for you? Looking at that.
I think by the Swindon game, we'll have closed down with Sunderland to about a point.
Ooh.
And then after that, it'll depend on the run-in. But I think it'll be close.
Gentlemen?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go along with that and agree with it. Yeah, I'll stick with Sean.
No, I thought you were going to reserve comment there, Mike. Are you going to go for a closing of the gap?
No, at the moment, I'll stick to that because I don't think I'm going to buy any jammy Dodgers for your dad. So, but if we do it, I'll buy him a beer and jammy Dodgers, like I've said.
Mike, as we always say, mate, especially when travelling around London, mind the gap.
True.
Have a great week, gents. See you on Saturday.
See you then. Take care.
That was Sean and Brendan. Let's bring Andrew back in the conversation. Gaz will be with you in just a moment. I just wanted to bring these two together very quickly because there was I'm not gonna. Alex said he was gonna sort of side with Andrew very slightly on being positive about the automatics. I'm going to take myself out of the fray for a moment, Alex, because I know we're feeding back to this a lot, but it's quite important, isn't it? That sort of it's a positive move for Pompey, isn't it? And especially with 7-8 games to go now.
Yeah, it is, and it's us looking up now. We weren't looking up a few games ago, and I was just listening to the boys and yourself say, 12 out of 12 we've now got with the Cowleys. If you think about that puts us on 52 points before they came in. Do you think we'd have breached 62 without the change? I don't think so. So
even
us
by
to
the
be
end of the season, yeah.
4 out of 4, you can't ask much more. I think there will be tough games to come for the end of the season. And I would absolutely love it if we knocked either Sunderland or Peterborough out of those spots. I would absolutely love it. But
yeah, just to say, a man in complete agreement on that opinion is this boy here, because he will back you up on that. Do you just want to I know it's almost like doing a PowerPoint presentation, but if you want to refer to the table in your response to this, but you're still kind of in the camp of autos, aren't you? And things every week it's getting more and more in your favour, which is strange.
Well,
that never happens.
Favour, really, but just my thought process is that I think we can win the remaining games of this season. Might sound really tough ask, but Wigan was the toughest one we had to play. I think, looking at the way they played as well. The others, I think, are all beatable, home and away, including 1 point in Accrington the end of the season, last game. I think it's doable.
Well, you look at it and you think if you picked and put those 10 games and just dotted them across the season like they usually would be, and then went through and had to pick every single game of the season, you'd say win for every single one. But having them in a row, it makes it feel like more of a feat. But I think why not? What's to stop us doing that?
I like the way you're thinking, and that's a good way of putting it, I think, because that's quite right. You spread it across the season, we'd have taken them as wins, wouldn't we? The fact we've got to win them all in a row is irrelevant. Those teams are beatable, and especially with the squad we've got and the attitude we've got to winning. I agree with you. I think it's absolutely. There's no reason why we can't go and win those 8 games, and I don't think the others will win all theirs.
Well, so you see it as Hull and us, and then who finishes and wins the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about Hull, to be honest, because they can be a little bit off the pace sometimes, can't they? They're a bit of a dip, but they haven't had a bad run for a while, so they're going to start dropping points. We've had a bad run all season, so we owe it to ourselves to win the next 8 games, don't we? But I think Hull, we got 2 games in hand. If you take that point tally, that gives us 2 more wins than them to be top of the league if we win 2 games in hand.
We always say, don't we, get games in hand don't mean points, but
exactly.
we're at the end of the season now and we're rubbing our hands together, so let's say they do. I think that Charlton might sneak into those playoffs. I've just got a feeling they'll sneak their way in. And Niall was saying, it's always the team that comes in with their tails up that wins the playoffs, and I just do fear if we get really close, like I said on Friday, and we don't make that top 2 for one reason or another, and we get really close and push ourselves to the edge, it could affect us. But let's be positive and let's just say, we're going to go up automatically.
Can I ask you? I know you're a massive fan of that because he loves it when anyone says the word autos. It's almost like Pompey win a game. Can I ask you from where I'm sitting? I'm looking at that league table and I'm thinking, that is a gap and a half. I know you just said mind the gap, but at this point in time, and I know you can't take anything for granted, is it a case of making sure that we don't get too ahead of ourselves and don't pile on the pressure as much as perhaps we would have wanted to? Because Sean's quite rightly just said in the comments on the other chat on the stream that when was the last time Pompey went and won 10 games in a row that you can remember? I think it's been quite
probably League 2 in the running, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. It'd be something like that, wouldn't
10
it?
years ago, something stupid. It's been a long time, but we didn't have this management group. We didn't have this team ethos that we've got. We didn't have this attitude. We didn't have the players we've got now. We've technically got the best players by far than the other team, I think, in every position. And I still believe it, Tom. It's not me pipe dreaming on eating too many jammy dodgers or drinking some of Aaron's fish water. This is. I feel it. I feel it coming. I can feel we've had so much pain for the last 4 years. It's our time to enjoy our football.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think we do have in every position. If you put another player, I mean, there's a couple of positions you'd say you could have other people in different positions, like maybe Johnson, Clark Harris, or someone because he's bagged 26 goals this season. But equally, it's like John Marquis can bag 26 goals a season. He's had a massively turbulent season with the way we played with him for most of the season. I don't think it really meant that he was going to score masses of goals, and he still got into a decent tally. But I think you're right, and I think what's the point in us looking down now? It's a big gap, but equally those teams have got to play each other. Charlton have got Lincoln; they didn't play today for I don't know why. They've got Sunderland next week. Sunderland, I think, have still got to play Hull. I don't know if Peterborough have still got any big games in that top six.
Peterborough will play Charlton, Lincoln, and Doncaster. Doncaster twice.
So, like I say, if Charlton do slip into that playoff spot, they'll have done a lot of favours for us going upwards. So it's going to be interesting, and it's quite nice that it's nice and it's not nice. Sometimes you like to have it in your hands, but to be able to just look around you and see what's happening, and then hopefully try and beat the teams we've got to beat, it could be a nice run in for us.
It's almost like Sean's taken on the role of our producer, but he's just put in there Sunderland of Blackpool, Hull and Charlton. So there's the two teams above us. Okay, Andrew's just said that Hull might drop off. I know you're a busy man, Alex, you've got to shoot, but Peterborough playing Charlton, Lincoln and Doncaster twice, so not all three of them twice, over Doncaster twice. Sunderland have got Blackpool. I know that in a normal season, that's sort of, Blackpool, but actually they've had a really last couple of weeks especially have been really impressive. And then Hull and Charlton as well, who you've got a sneaky suspicion might jump into the playoffs. We've got an interesting couple of weeks ahead, haven't we?
Very interesting, very interesting. I think it's a lovely run-in for us. We look around and we're not, going into a game where we've got to win to stay in the playoffs. I think if we do drop a couple of points here and there, which I don't think would be the end of the world, and you'd probably let the Cowleys off with how they've come in, but it's probably not going to be detrimental, because you'd think someone's going to have to have beaten someone or drawn with someone in the top 7 or 6, and it's going to do us a favour one way or another. I just think if we can somehow close that gap, it'd be a fantastic end of the season, and I think hats off to the Cowleys and the boys for doing it. But we're a long way to go, 24 to play for, and let's just keep going. I've got us in a season-long bet that I put on a couple of weeks ago to go up. So I think, maybe last time I did that, we went up and we won the league on the last day. So maybe it's this year again.
There you go, bit of an omen. See you on Saturday, mate. Thanks for your company again.
Yeah, see you Saturday.
Cheers, mate. That was Mr. Alex Hayward, who's very kindly jumped on for the afternoon. Andrew's still with us. We're going to speak to Gaz as well now. Welcome along, mate. Thanks for bearing with us. Just another one to add. Sean said Hull of Lincoln, Sunderland and Charlton. It's those teams that we've got to I know we said we want to focus on ourselves, but those teams have all got to really, almost all of them, play each other. Pompey, I wonder how you see their slightly more favourable run towards the finish line.
Yeah, without a doubt, we've got the run in that most teams would look at and probably sort of like be a bit jealous, really. But we've just got to keep doing what we've got to keep doing. I'm actually going towards Andrew's camp at the moment.
Here we go, another member.
You've got to look at let's say the teams like Sunderland. They've got to play Hull and they've got to play Accrington. We've got to play Accrington. Got to play them twice. So after today, we managed to get through that game. So it's a bit like my ex-missus. It wasn't pretty, but it'll do. So that's it, really.
I'm sure she'd be pleased watching this. Oh, that's the funniest one we've had all day, that one. That's quality.
You're welcome.
Gaz, that is cheered us right up, mate. We were happy as it was, but that's just topped off the afternoon.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing, Tom.
And he said you're going to get autos. Gaz is your new favourite man, mate.
Because he knows that otherwise he's got to send some jammies from
Well, this is
Malta.
true.
So what I was going to say was, I think what the Accrington game, when we're in the automatic promotion place, you know that ever at Christmas when you see the Coca-Cola big truck going along with all the Coca-Cola.
Holidays are coming.
Yeah, holidays are coming up when everyone knows that's going to be like the Jammy Dodgers are coming.
Oh my word!
To our house.
It will be.
Yeah.
I think we'll need a special delivery, won't we? Gaz, all the way from Malta, and I suppose this goes for Pompey fans across the world. But do you feel the positivity? Do you feel the confidence in the players, even though you're miles away from the action at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, with the iFollow in this, you feel like part of the setup, really. You know, it's a bit difficult when you're abroad, but there's technology now, so we can be part of, still support the club, and we're still putting our money in with the iFollow, and I say, next year is another year, so we'll just look forward to getting promotion, and then we'll look forward to some new grounds eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, and what will be a really exciting championship season as well. And Gaz, do you believe that obviously there'll be a period of sort of, I know this might be getting ahead of ourselves slightly, but a period of recruitment over the summer. How do you fancy our chances if a championship season is a given for us next year?
We're an attractive club. That's the main thing. We're not a small club going up by accident. We've been at the Premier League. You know what I mean? We've been there before. And we are an attractive club for any player that wants to, either drop into the Championship from the Premier League or, a good find, from another league. So that's the good thing about Portsmouth Football Club. We're attractive, and we have a big fan base, And obviously, we're now with the Cowleys, we're going to put some, so we're going to put a good string of results through, and we're going to do it.
Absolutely. And just looking at that run-in that Pompey have in front of them now, Gaz, it is favourable, isn't it? Are there any teams on there that, obviously that's not, I don't think that's the tail end of it, because there's another game against Accrington and I believe there's one more too. But at the minute, looks very much favourable when we've been discussing that, other teams around us have really got to play each other.
That's right, yeah. I mean, 5 away games and 3 at home. So, I mean, my worry is the Swindon game, because Brett Pittman, it's one of them. They always seem to come back and and bite you as ex-players, So that's the one game. I mean, not so much the team; it's more Brett Pittman, because we know what he can do. But it's favourable. Like I say, other teams would be jealous of our running. We're not playing the top teams, but we've got all to play for. We're all playing for different things. We're going high, and some of them are scrapping just to stay in the division. We want to get out the division. People are staying to stay in it. So,
and speaking of getting out the division, Gaz, I mean that's what we're looking at the moment. And I know you're heading over to camp this man with the Automatic Club, but there's reasoning for it, isn't there? And week by week, there's even more reason to support the cause.
Absolutely, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. I know we have to rely on other results, but they're going to be looking behind their shoulders. People are going to be looking at our results, because they know what we've done in the past. I mean, we won League Two and not being top of the league for the last 30 minutes of the league, and we won it. Do you know what I mean? So, people are going to be wary of our results without a doubt. So, and that's going to play on their mind. I think, Hull, I think they will go up, and I think we're going to slip into that second place.
There we go, and that's what we like to hear. And another big thumbs up from Andrew, I can feel incoming. Gaz, thank you very much indeed for your company. We'll see you on Saturday.
Take care.
Thanks, mate. See you for now. That was Gaz, and thank you to all the gents that have joined us, as always, here live on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Before you leave us, Andrew, just final words, closing it before we hit the promos. Nothing wrong with that, was there?
I enjoyed it, Tom. Play at Pompey.
That was very brief, and you didn't give me time to organise that. Anyway, let's see what's still to come here on Fournilwrittenalloverit over the next couple of weeks. So as we've been mentioning, there's still so much to look forward to for this run-in. Portsmouth versus Burton is our next game, live here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. You can join us from 2 o'clock next Saturday. We're at the usual time of 3 p.m. kickoff. Tuesday the 13th of April will see us travel to Crewe Alexandra. That one's an early one, 6 o'clock kickoff. Join us for all our live coverage from 5. MK Dons is the next away trip for Pompey, Saturday 17th of April at the normal time of 3 p.m. Then, as Gaz was just saying there, Brett Pittman is going to make an appearance against Pompey Tuesday the 20th of April. Once again, a 6 o'clock kickoff Join us for our coverage from 5. Saturday 24th of April is next up for Pompey. Bristol Rovers are the visitors to Fratton Park. That one kicks off at 1 o'clock. Join us from midday on that weekend. And then there's the first time we'll play Accrington this season, Tuesday the 27th of April. I believe that's the rearranged fixture from Christmas time. And then we'll play them again after just a couple of weeks. Maybe I think it's even a week is the space of time that we play them relatively soon afterwards. So as you can see, loads to look forward to here live on Fournilwrittenalloverit. We will bring you every second of the action live with all the gents and myself and Andrew as well. Hopefully we won't need to, but we'll be here for the playoffs once again too. That is it from us. Have a fantastic rest of your Easter Monday and enjoy an evening off. And we get back to it next week. We'll be back on Saturday. And also the best news is that Boris Johnson has just recently confirmed that the 12th of April is the date for hairdressers and all that to be open. So we can all finally get a haircut, which is the news of the day, isn't it? Anyway, have a fantastic rest of your evening, everyone. Happy Easter. Happy belated Easter to you all. We'll see you on Saturday. Bye-bye for now.